add a little bit here? Yeah. Just, yeah. No, yeah, that's good, that's good. Dajte mne. Babuša tam, ne? Ok, dajte mne telefon, gre Ana položila. Ne, normalno. Adelaja, puskaj že zarazila ste. No, I like South Africa songs. I like South Africa. Включите, чтобы я мог приветствовать today. All right, welcome everybody. Maxine, welcome.
Welcome.
You didn't smile for 5 years. You didn't laugh for 5 years. Now you can't stop laughing.
Yes, I cannot.
I'm happy for you. You know, good. It means Ukraine is a good place for you.
Thank you.
HMT. Okay. So here we are. Gift Amos, welcome. Oh, Adeshola, it's been a while. Long time no see, no hear. How are you, Adeshola? We've missed you and Osaro since we've been away for HMT and yes. Tessie Ehiozuwa Omoye Plutonic. Hi, Plutonic Omoye. We've not seen you people for some time. Mesonge Bumigbenro. Doris Ngere, welcome back. Shioma Okpara, Helen Wellington, Rochelle White, Ufoma, Taylor Sumo, Kemil Lawal, Michael Babs, Charles Adeniji, Fonsani, Mary Odia, Don Pedro. Oh, okay. Don Pedro Koje. Wumi Aluko, Raija, Olania, Sally, Bro Jude, Wally Banjoko, welcome back home. Nice to see you again, Francisca, Ayodeji, Madabuko. Welcome everybody. Folarin, Oluwatoyin Bidemi, Rindegbenro, welcome. Go ahead and invite your friends. And here we go again. Yeah, it's crucial, it's normal. So here we go. We were talking about there was Peace. Peace came here for a short while, and she's gone. She needed to make a train. She needed to go back to her city. So Peace has gone, but she started a revolution here. We're talking about the teaching that Dr. Anu gave at the HMT. That was what blew her mind, because she never had a concept of a nation having value system and being guided by that value system. Because she said even individuals don't have value systems, or to be aware of it, that these are the value systems that I'm guided with. And so I was telling her, does she know the book? So she said she didn't know the book. I said, oh, you know, this book probably helped or changed the destiny of Dr. Anu, because that's what he told me, that after reading this book, he said, I know my assignment. This book didn't just show me the destiny and the value system of Nigeria, but my role in it. So, so, you know, Dr. Anu was just telling us, and he started by giving us some background information, which was wonderful. And so, where do you pick it up from now? From here.
All right. Thank you so much, DSA. Hello, everybody, once again. So, talking about the discovering of the purpose and calling of nations. So, I already gave a background about not even getting to think about a nation having the purpose. So, I went through this book, and I think I said this during the HMT, that my first glance into the book, I saw a lot of scriptures. And I was with DSA that time, and I told him that, Pastor, what's happening? This book is, I mean, just the title enough is quite interesting. But then I glanced through the book and I'm seeing a lot of scriptures. Why so much scriptures? Because I know his writing style, and I know that if he's writing a Christian book, then you see a lot of scriptures. But if it's a book that is not, I mean, Christian oriented per se, no so much scriptures. So I remember he told me that he laughed and then he said, let's go and read the book. Yeah, so he laughed, said, just go and read the book. So guess what? I did. I read it and it literally blew my mind. Because, I mean, one thing that I...
Even though you've read a number of my books before.
Yes, I've read a lot of your books. But this one, while I was reading it...
In a class of his own.
Yeah. I told the pastor, while I was reading this book, I really felt like this book is so detailed.
Yes, it is. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, sir. So I told him, and one of my feedback to him was that I felt like this book is so detailed and so much work was gone into it. So I didn't know how long. So I asked him that how long did it take you to come out with
one of the
book?
most challenging books.
Yeah. So Pastor told me it took him how many years? I think it was a lot of years in this, more than 10 years, I guess.
The revelation, since the revelation came, is since 2002.
2002.
That's when. How many?
No,
2002.
16 years.
Yeah, so this is since I've conceived the idea of this book. 16 years ago. But I started writing it 3 years.
2 years ago. So
the process of writing took 3 years. But the idea was carrying it in my mind. Just like right now, I'm carrying some books in my head right now, in my spirit, in my mind. I'm carrying like 1,000 books in me right now. Yeah.
That just made us laugh here. 1,000 books.
Yeah, but not just idea, but I'm already having the manuscripts. For 1,000 books.
300.
You take 10%. That is time. I should give you the time.
Well, so that really is thinking end of it.
But some people don't know. When I come up with a topic and I'm talking about it, some people think it's just now I'm getting the revelation. They might not even have an idea that some of those revelations I've been carrying them for the past 25 years. Only there has not been an opportunity to speak about it or to share it with the world, or maybe I've spoken about it in smaller groups or in church or in other places, but to the whole world, maybe just now. Yeah.
Pastor, how do you keep all these ideas since 25 something?
Yes.
How do you keep all the thousands and don't forget and not?
Do you really want to know?
Yes, I want to know.
Do you really want to know?
Because I have 100 to write, so I want to know.
Are you sure you are ready for it?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, you have to ask permission from Maxine if he will give you a place to come and sit down, or she also wants to know. So you have to negotiate about yourself. Bargain. She's a kind woman.
Thank you very much.
She's a kind woman.
Yes, I want to know too.
Okay, then you have to come somewhere here.
So I'm getting my own
Oh,
ideas.
some people I need to come at the back. You already have an idea.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. If you go here, this is Pastor Victoria. Okay. If you go to files, this is Dropbox. There's something they call Dropbox.
Yes, I have some.
Okay. So if it's just to use to keep your documents, right?
Yes.
So if you go here, I have something I call my books of Revelation. Okay. If you go to my book of Revelation, if you get interested, yeah. He doesn't want the thing to pass by him. He don't want to be left behind. But we will show you separately. So if you go through this, you will see that I have, okay, my new book of Revelation, then you have all these book of Revelations. So all these are different books of Revelation, notebook. Yeah. So if I open any of these now, let's say I open, let me say I open this one, number 9. And you see, we have many of them, but let's open this one. I want just one. If I open this, you will discover it has this. No, I wrote the name of the church. It's called Rema. I wrote Rema because those are the things God revealed to me. Okay. So how do I keep them? How do I keep the books? Okay, you see the way I put them. So, for example, I've not written a book. I've not written a book yet on this topic. You see, it's called critical thinking, but I already have it here. Yes. If you point it at it like this, you see you see all these things. And yes, these are the things, the chapters and the things and the divisions of the book. But I've not even I've never taught it, and I've never spoken about it to anybody, to any human being. But it's already here, and I never thought about it. I never preached it. I never wrote about it. I never opened my mouth to talk about it. Because I've spoken about analytical thinking, the art of thinking, the principles of thinking, the laws of thinking. I've mentioned a little bit, but I've not. But critical thinking is just as big as art of thinking. It's as big as that, maybe bigger than that. It's all subject that I have not even spoken about yet. Everybody is talking about critical thinking, but they should wait till I begin to talk They should wait till I do it. So that's just one topic. Okay, let's just go another one. Let's just anything. Okay. This is just the idea. Okay, this is a concept, but that's just another one. Let me just bring anything I point out. Okay, for example, this is another book right here, chapter 1, so culture of corruption. I've never thought about that, and I've never preached about that too, and I've never written a book on that. So, but that's the whole thing going on there. Okay, let's keep on going. Anything you want. This is just in one. So, but if you keep on going like that, how many do you have books here? How many books do you have here? How many books do you have here? No, this is just like how many?
My head is easy.
and this is just one book. This is just one revelation, one. For example, if I talk about this one, for example, these are all chapters. You know, valuable law of recognition. I've never spoken about law of recognition before. I have law of difference, but not the whole recognition. It's a whole book. I don't even know when I'll be able to preach about it or teach about it or write a book about it.
You have 10%, I'm taking 10%.
So all these things you are seeing here, they are not even 1% of the books I have. So this is just one book, and you see all of them. So many. So here they are. Yeah, so 160 something.
So Pastor, here we are in the book 9.
Yeah. So let's go to book 8, for example.
9, they are so...
Yes. So if you go to book 8, for example, this is book 8. Okay. I've not done this one, but I'm planning to, you see.
How to ask questions.
That is a whole book on its own, and I've not even done that yet. I've been talking about importance of question, but not all the details.
Yes, it's
So maybe you have to open the university because
I know.
everything.
It's like research center.
Yes.
Research center, like seriously.
Yeah.
This is not book 8.
Okay, for example, this is another one. God's reward system. So these are all chapters here. These are all chapters. And it's only about how God rewards. The reward system of God. That's a whole book. I've never spoken about it. I've never preached about it. Don't play to write about it. What is that? You are dazed. You are so touched. You are crying.
I'm just
Touched.
I'm just touched.
Wow. Overwhelmed.
So, Pastor, while all this I hear, that as well I need to get it because
Yeah.
while all this I hear, still in the incubator, they are not out.
They are saying incubator. Yes.
Are more revelations coming?
Yes.
Every day.
Yes.
Holy Mary.
Holy Mary.
Pastor, I heard you once say that you have enough to fill the next 65 years in only speaking for.
Yes,
Preaching.
I can live for the rest of my life and never open the Bible and never get a new revelation, and still you see the ones that I'm not even talking about this one. Leave this one. Let's see another one, which is totally different. These are just the books that are already planned now. Yeah, these are the ones. These are apart from this one. These are just my manuscript I was showing you. But this is what I'm already working on. I already planned to release, and my secretary just gave me this. And this is about 1,000 of them here.
Yay. 1,000.
Yes.
Only talking about 2.
More than 1,000 topics here.
Oh my goodness.
These are just the list. Yeah. So
Oh
if you want to work on this,
Making it.
you can spend the whole day just going through the general list of the titles of. These are just titles of books. Yeah.
You just woke up.
Yeah, just woke up.
Yes. Good. Yeah. You see, these are just the title of the books. Not like this with the manuscript, but this is just the title only of books. Future books.
You're getting busy here.
Holy Spirit.
He gave up. Okay, let's show the people don't see what we are saying. Huh?
Say Holy Spirit.
Holy Spirit. No, is that only one?
Mary.
Holy Mary.
He said Holy Spirit.
Holy Mary.
Are you a Catholic?
Okay, what we are talking about here, can you see? Is it sure? Come on, let's read it. Read now. So these are future books and general list. These are just the general list, the titles of the books that I plan to release before I die. These are the books that are already without getting to my manuscript. These are just the title of the book that I already picked to write, to release.
And more coming.
See the numbers? Can you see the numbers, right?
Coming.
And more are there. Yes. You see the numbers going? The numbers.
Holy Mary.
Holy Mary. You see? This is 100.
Holy Mary. Holy Jesus. Holy Spirit.
You see, just see the numbers, yeah? Are they is it visible? Okay.
Oh my goodness. I said this is research center. Like seriously. It's like a research center.
That's the benefit of work. When you work hard,
Yes.
you'll be able to, you'll be able to produce so much that you would think a human being is not capable of producing as much.
Yeah.
These are all the list of books just going on like this. These are just titles. we are still going on. We are still strolling now. You want to help me? Okay, give us credit. They don't see. They can't see. They can't see. So, yeah, you have to walk. Yes. Yeah, like that. Yes. Is it 300 and something now? Keep on going.
Right.
32 pages.
32 pages of just the list.
32 pages of
Just the names.
For books.
Books.
Fantastical.
Fantastical. It's like reading a book, 32 pages book.
He's taking 100.
Not
I'm
100%.
taking 10% of yours.
Of yours. Yes. He wants to take 10% from you. It's a 430 something now.
So somebody want to replace him. It's too much.
It's too much. You just halfway. Yes? Too much. No, you have to one by one. Yeah. Yeah. So that they could see the number. Yeah. You see, now we are on 500.
Yeah. Jesus is Lord.
Jesus is Lord. These are future books that are already been.
Please, take care of this. Thank you.
It was as how it looked, that it was easy.
How many number are you in now?
500.
You're still 500?
Yeah.
When you get tired, then we go and explain more.
600.
Do you have any book that talks about how to conceptualize and how to write a book?
Oh, yeah.
From concept.
Oh, yeah, I have that.
Okay,
But I've not gotten there yet.
Yes.
So many things to write about. So many things to talk about.
Pastor, are they not the same topic?
No. Just like when you see, I have over 3,000 messages on YouTube. You think they're the same?
No.
Everybody
More
think they should be
revelation.
repeat though. And you see?
Hey.
How many now?
6, 7.
Yeah, still 700. Okay, let's go. It's more there. More than 1,000 books
Yes.
that's already there.
I am overwhelmed.
What are you thinking? What's going through your mind?
Wasting our time, wasting our life.
So yeah, that's why you shouldn't.
Yes.
You are just talking to me today. You were talking to me today, and you said, Pastor Sandey, you are always. What do you say? You are always busy. What do you call it?
You're always busy.
You say you're always busy. Now the reason you said I'm always busy is because I'm always converting. I'm always converting most of the time. You know, at least every hour I must always convert. Every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes must always be converted into something. That is how you produce so much.
Focus, Pastor.
Yeah, very focused and here and now.
That's what I need to work on.
You don't even know where to start.
I don't know.
Finish one book.
No, I don't.
Finish
think-
one book.
Honestly, I don't think this is human.
Louder.
I honestly don't think this is human effort. I know you've put in so much effort, but I think there must be some spiritual backing,
Supernatural.
some supernatural background, grace. Something is this is not normal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, someone you say, you are the one who caused the trouble. What will you say about it? Get to him. What will he say about this? Because you asked the question. Now you are in trouble. If you didn't ask the question, it was good. But now you ask the question and you are now seeing many.
Even the 10% of this, if you give me the 10%, I'm not sure it's too much. It's too much. It's too much. It's just amazing because it's too much idea. It's too much. Yes, I agree with my pastor that is
Louder.
yes. Okay, it's very. I think it's too much ideas, book, and that is.
And same thing with inventions.
Yes.
I honestly think God left heaven and He decided to come and stay in your mind. I don't know.
Pastor, what I thought.
Somebody just said that.
Somebody just said that.
Yes. He said, I think DSA is from different parts of heaven. He's not a human being. He's an angel. How do you replicate this?
What you are saying? You are saying something.
When you were just showing me all the title,
Yes.
I just thought about Solomon.
Solomon.
Yeah, Bible says Solomon spoke about so many things, so many things. So I just heard the ideas that it's like a wisdom of Solomon.
Amen.
Somebody who can speak about little different thing between this and this and this and this and this details, and So maybe it's certainly.
He's a Solomon.
Yeah.
So Solomon
Solomon's
of
grace.
these days. Yeah.
Yes.
Solomon's anointed, eh? Itakuda to Prince Lala. Fine. So, who is there again?
Livia was stunned.
No. You are the one.
Well, we're all stunned anyways. So,
First of all, yeah, you have to move
yeah,
from where we
there,
are.
yeah. So, talking about the amount of books and the kind of results, DSA mentioned it earlier on how it is important to be able to be in charge of your time, and that's the only way we can be able to convert the way he's converting. Yeah, because I mean, it's mind blowing because less than 3% of people living on Earth live like this, and even less than 1% produces result like this. I mean, the lady with the highest amount of books in history wrote over, I think, 900 books. That's it. But Pastor already has above 1,000 that is yet to be written now.
No, but at least the lady was able to release it, produce it.
Yes.
I see. I am not there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, so much. Yeah.
I have it just manuscript.
Manuscript, yes.
But you have over 300 already
Yeah.
published.
Yeah.
So, well, so coming back to this subject on discovering the purpose and calling of nations, is definitely a subject that no one has spoken about or no one has discussed about, and that was also my own experience with the book. That, I mean, no one talks about, even presidents, even government officials. I mean, no one talks about this is the purpose of our nation, and we're doing this because this is what we stand for. And that's what this book offered me. I mean, I was talking with him when we were having a review on the book, and I'm like, he gave 5 major countries here: France, US, Germany, Nigeria. And the way he described England, yes, and the way he described the purpose and the calling of each nation, I was very sure that, I mean, even nationalities, people from those countries, I have no idea of it. And I mean, even people testify to it, people from France and people from England, that after they read this book, I mean, they didn't even know that this was what their country stood for, and these were the values that their country were built upon. So that was my experience here. And even much more, I discovered my nation in a whole new light. Yeah, I knew exactly what Nigeria stood for. I knew that what is happening in Nigeria right now, most of the restructuring and all of those things are just strategies of the devil to actually destroy the foundation and the what would actually move Nigeria forward. Yeah. So I mean, people coming out and saying they want to Dua, they want Biafra. Well, they are ignorant of the purpose and the calling of our nation, and even the value systems that our nation was built upon. So these were the things I learned from this book, and most amazingly to me was I discovered not just the purpose and the calling of my nation, Nigeria, but I discovered my purpose in the purpose of Nigeria. So I discovered my role. What role do I have to play in the fulfillment of the purpose of my nation? Because I didn't expect to get to that point, actually. Because, I mean, reading the book, you just want to discover the purpose of your nation. But it was like an extra. That, okay, now you've discovered the purpose of Nigeria. Now, this is your own responsibility in making sure that this purpose is fulfilled. So I see it as a national responsibility. Because most people only discover their purpose and it's just for themselves. Like, this is what I want to achieve for myself. This is my own purpose in life. But then discovering my own purpose, not on a personal level, but on a national level. That this is what I have to do for my nation. So I mean, it just blew, and it was in the area of values. And my own dream is to make Nigeria the most virtuous nation in the world. To make Nigeria the most virtuous nation in the world. Why? Because I mean, I saw the 20 values that were highlighted here, and I said it during the HMT, that I can imagine every Nigerian has all of those 20 values engraved in their consciousness. I could imagine every Nigerian having those values, I mean, and that becomes our identity. Wherever you go,
not scam,
yeah,
not 419.
Not 419. Yeah, because the narratives...
You want to replace the 419.
Yeah, exactly. Because the narratives of Nigerians all over the world, wherever you go to, the narratives you hear about Nigerians are they're scams, they are fraudsters, they are people who are desperate, so they can do anything, and that's the reason why people are trying to go through the desert and through the Mediterranean Sea to go to Europe. Why? Because I mean that's the narrative that people have heard about Nigeria, but we're going to change the narrative. I am going to change the narrative. Yeah, and it's very possible, and that's one of the things that Pastor also highlighted in this book. That if Nigerians, and if we can get back to the issue of values, if we can get our values right, and we can make every Nigerian live and function with these value systems, I mean, the nation is already transformed like that.
Well, automatically. Yeah.
Automatically, the nation is transformed. I mean, if our values are right, every other thing will just begin to fall in place. And that was the reason why I was teaching during the HMT. I used value systems as the foundation. That no matter what we build on top, no matter the structures, because Nigerians right now are claiming, I mean, they are clamoring for, we want good roads, we want good water supply, we want light, electricity, all of those things. I mean, I heard about
outwards.
Yeah, those are external stuffs. But the things that really remain, the things that last forever, are the things that are not seen. And those are the values. Those are the things that are inside. So those are the things that informs our behavior. Those are the things that makes us humans, actually.
Yes.
Absolutely. And so these are the things I got from this book, that we have to restore values to Nigeria. So, I mean, it transformed my life. It made me understand that, hey, this is what you have to do. And you cannot go back to God until Nigeria.
Oh, my God.
I can. I know exactly what to do in Nigeria. I know exactly what to do. I know exactly what to do. And I mean, and Pastor made it more easy for me. He told me, hey, from this book, he said, these are the 5 areas you have to just focus on. That's it. Let's see how we can work on with the religious institutions. Let's see how we can get them to begin to inculcate values into their messages. And for me, the religious institution is the most important.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because there are 5. The religious institutions, the family, the media, civil societies,
Yes.
and the last one is an educational system.
Education.
And now, why am I saying the religious institution is the most important? Because every one of them, they all go to church or to go to mosque.
Yes.
Most families get their values from the church.
Yes.
Teachers, they go to church.
Yes.
Politicians go to church. People who are in the arts and media, they are in church. So everybody is either in church or
Church.
in
Yes.
So you
That's a
target
fact.
the church,
You
got
get everybody.
So, I mean, if you target the church alone, imagine targeting just the Christian in Nigeria. Christians are close to 81 million, if not more. 88 million, yeah. Can you imagine? So imagine 88 million Nigerians.
That's good, without counting the mosque.
Without going to mosque, because we are going to work with the mosque too. Yeah, we're going to work with them.
Yes.
Because, I mean, values are
They are universal.
universal. It's not religion. These are just universal principles. Just teach your Muslims to live with love. Let them be honest. Let them have integrity. That this is not religion. We're not saying come and believe in Jesus. These are just values.
Yes.
So imagine we start with the church, And 88 million Nigerians are virtuous people. They are truthful.
Yes.
They are not looking for how to dupe another person. They are looking at their neighbors and love.
So why should anybody run to anywhere? No need.
No need. So, I mean, this is, I mean, for me, I can see the picture. I know exactly what we can do. We invade the school system.
Yes.
We build curriculums.
Yes.
We restore moral education to schools.
Yes.
Restore history.
Yes.
Many people realize that, hey, civic education is more important than mathematics.
Yes.
Values.
Yes.
Values more important than English.
Yes.
Than anything.
Make it compulsory.
Yeah, we make it compulsory. One of my live shows, I was talking about the role of educational system, and I told people that imagine you going through over 10 to 15 years of your life intentionally studying values and intentionally inculcating values into your mindset. Because we start school. Let's say we start school at the age of 3 or 4 or 5, and from 5 till you end high school, that's like an average of 10 years. So imagine from your nursery
It's supposed
school,
to be 12 years.
you're 12 years thereabout. So let's even say a minimum of 10 years. So imagine for good 10 years, there's an intentional, systematic inculcation of these values into your mind. In such a way that you cannot bypass it. You see it at every stage.
Like 1 plus 1, 2.
1 plus 1 is 2. You see it increasingly because we learned mathematics in nursery school, but till even till now, we're still learning mathematics.
Yes.
So imagine that's how it is with values. That from nursery school, you're learning values.
Fundamentals.
Yeah.
Basic fundamentals, starting with the young mind.
Yeah.
They will capture it and it will stay. And then it will increase as they change
they
the
grow.
grades. So it will
And
not
it
be
gets more
difficult.
complicated,
And
yeah.
train up a child in the way they should go and they
when
won't
they-
depart from it. So starting from the early age where you're nurturing them,
Yeah.
they will engraft it and it will elevate in their life.
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, one of the things that actually I want to really thank God for with this book and also with DSA, I don't know if DSA can remember, the first HMT I came for, that was the day I boldly could say that I am a Nigerian and I am proud to be a Nigerian. I don't know if you can remember. I was introducing myself that day and I was like, my name is Anulua Pojo and I am proud to be a Nigerian. And Pastor corrected me on some things. So if you're a pastor, you have to learn how to receive correction quickly. Yeah. So that was the day that, Pastor was sharing some things in that HMT. And that day, I saw something different about Nigeria. But I'd not even seen it this clear because it was like 2 years ago. And I said, I am proud to be a Nigerian. And then going through this book and learning about nations, I know Nigeria has everything it takes to be the greatest nation and the greatest country in the world. With all of the things that are written in this book, and a lot of things that Pastor has written in some of or most of his Nigerian books.
What about the leadership? Nigeria and the leadership.
And the leadership, yeah, Nigeria and the leadership quest. Yeah.
Nigeria and the leadership question.
I think that was the first book I read about Nigeria.
That is the one that really made you to know.
That was the one that just launched me into the national quest. Yeah, that moved me from just being a Nigerian and not even knowing anything about Nigeria, not even interested in Nigeria. Yeah.
Even though you are from there.
Come from there. But this book, I read through this book, learned history, you read this book, you learn the history, part of the history of Nigeria. But even much more, you get answers to the questions and to the common narratives that most Nigerians give. Because most Nigerians, still today, it's all about leadership. And they're like, Nigeria, we're not just working with leaders. We just have from one bad leader to another bad leader. And our leaders, they will come, they will promise, they will campaign, they will transform the nation. They get into office, nothing happens. And so the conclusion is that Nigeria just has...
Forget.
Yeah.
Leader is our problem.
Yeah, leadership is our problem. And then pastor comes and says, hey, okay, let's really see if the problem is with the leadership. And like I said in one of the videos, when you read this book, and when I read this book, this was the first book that made me realize that it was values. Yeah, because that's what you said here. This was the first book that made me realize that the problem with Nigeria is not with leadership, but it's with values. Why? Because our leaders are not imported. Our leaders are not from Katangua. They're not from Mali or from Benin Republic or from US. Our leaders are Nigerians. They are people who are living with us daily. So what does that mean? That means it can be anyone. And the reason why they are like that is because
the pot is rotten.
The pot is rotten. The pot is dirty. The value system is, it's destroyed. So they get to office and it just magnifies what is in the general populace. That's it. So it's just anyone can do exactly what they're doing. The only difference why you're throwing stones at them
is because
you're not there. Because the moment you leave that place where you are and you get to that seat of leadership,
you just become like them.
Yeah. You produce exactly the same thing. Why? Because it's values. And then the famous pot in this book. If you read this book, you know that there's a pot in this book. You cannot yeah, there's a pot in this book that many people will say. And what is the pot in this book? The pot in this book is a pot filled with wools and with an ink, with a paint. Black. So, this book gives us the description of that pot. That the pot is the nation, is a country. The wolves are the citizens of that nation. And the ink there in that pot refers to the values of the citizens of that nation. And so, if anyone wants to make a selection out of that pot, so any wool you pick from that pot cannot be in any other color but black.
It should not be red.
It can't be red.
Or yellow.
No.
Not less or white.
It can't be white.
Because the ink is
because the ink is black. So that means, and it's very obvious. We just need Nigerians to just sit down. How come, even in probability, not just in mathematics, over 50 years, we're not lucky.
If it is luck.
If it was luck.
And we are trying.
Yeah.
And not be one government like in Cameroon.
No, it's not like Cameroon.
Or three presidents like in Cote d'Ivoire.
No.
We have had many
governments. But how come we're not lucky with one?
Just one?
Yeah, just one white wool.
To come out of that black pot?
Why can't we just pick one white wool from that black pot?
Not possible.
So you can see the delusion that has ravaged our nation.
Not possible.
Not possible. Black is black.
Yeah.
The ink is black.
The ink is black.
The ink is black, the wool is going to be black. So it's delusional for us to think
that one day,
we will get a leader that will change our nation.
Yes.
Who is coming from that same black pot?
That same black pot.
Is getting through? So what needs to be done now?
So what do we need to do? It's easy. The reason why those wools are black, not because those wools cannot be in any other color. Notice, the wools can be any other color. They could be white, if we need them to be white. What we need is white, right?
Purity.
Purity. We need white purity. What do we need to do? Oh, simple. Change the ink.
Yes.
The value system.
Change the value system.
Of everybody.
So
it will not matter what tribe, which one, what gender, what anyone you pick.
Anyone you pick
will
be white.
And it will be able to function. The value system. It got
That's
the idea. You got it?
When we all think the same way. it's not
righteous,
all righteous, virtuous. Where
everybody.
The only thing that holds water is values. The only thing that wins is values. Not big manism, not political status, not anything.
So the only thing that never fails is values. The invisible thing. Like love. Love never fails.
Never fails. So if in Nigeria, people don't understand how important this thing is. When I do my lecture, they're like, "Go and sit down, Joe. You're just talking plenty. Well, values, when we need lights, when we need good roads." So, okay.
Just like Awolowo did. He built all those things.
Yeah.
Then as soon as his generation left,
gone.
Because the people who are coming by, they are still black.
Still black.
They destroyed the road and everything. Because you have not changed the content of the value system of the people who are coming to replace you. So even if you are lucky and you got a good one to put all the things there, as soon as that one comes, all the rest black that are coming,
destroys it. Yeah.
The black bull gonna fix the road. Gonna fix the road. Doctor, you just mentioned road, what they're looking for. They want road and they want this system and whatever. But the black will never have the value to know that the contents of the mixture, that the asphalt or the gravel or the stone and the amount of fluid that need to make it becomes good and don't break away in the next week.
No quality.
But you just finish it and it's finished because the contents that is there for the person have no value to give, to know that this road will last for thousands of years. I was looking at a program and they said, I don't know if it's Switzerland or wherever, they have a system. No, it's the HMT.
Yes. Drainage system.
The drainage system, the HMT I was watching, when they have the system for the road where the water will not destroy the road because the channel of the road have the drainage system and how the road is pitched for the road to be preserved and to have also the trees in the soil to bind the soils to let the things become firm, because when the water go in, the trees need the fluid, need the water to grow, so it's going to sustain the soil and it's going to be strong, so nothing is going to be breaking away very easily, because the purpose of the value will cause us stuff.
The ink is what was changed.
That's it, and that's what we need to do in Nigeria. If we can get that right, if we can just, get that right, our values right.
Yes.
But what is down the difference between these two books? If this is talking about values and this is talking about values.
The amazing thing about this is that this book...
Because some people will think that Pastor Sandey is just repeating himself.
No, at all. Because the thing there is, when you first read this book...
Which one?
This one. When you read the book, The Nigeria and the Leadership Question, it gives you an insight into the leadership terrain of Nigeria and how things conspired, how things...
The whole history.
The whole history. You're going to understand it. You're going to understand why even Obasanjo, Pastor mentioned it in this book, that the fact that Obasanjo was not allowed to continue the third tenure, you understand, was a setback for Nigeria. I mean, he also here he details some achievement that some leaders achieved but could not be sustained and could not be continued. You see it here, everything is detailed here. So here it addresses the question of leadership. That okay, if leadership is our problem, then let's check it. Let's do a detailed.
It's like I'm doing video.
Yeah.
It's like just like I'm preaching with the video analysis.
Video analysis.
Tell them now. Yeah. Is that the thing?
No, that's how it is too, because you know, like when Pastor is giving the video analysis, it makes you see the picture, so that you don't just think he's just talking fables and you
don't believe his words.
Yeah, don't just believe his words. You understand? These are facts. These are things that you would see. I mean, study history, or even if you're tired to study history, at least you come and study it here. You see it. So you see how the leadership structure of Nigeria began from 1960 even up till now. And you're going to understand the reason why things have not been working well. And then even much more, then it now goes into the issue that come see. Let's stop talking about just political leaders. We have to be leaders of ourselves. I mean, individually. Yeah, because that's one thing you learn in this book about personal leadership, personal responsibility. That we're just talking about political leaders, but as individuals, we are leaders. We are leaders, and that's what leads us into value system. That we are just saying, okay, the problem with our political leaders, but you as an individual, as you're a leader, and the first person you ought to lead is yourself. Yeah, that's the first person. Like, you are a leader yourself. So then it now launches us into the idea of value systems. That now, if you as a leader, you have to lead yourself, and then the political leaders ought to lead the nation. Now you question yourself, what values do you work by, do you live by? Because
even the ones who are criticizing.
Yeah, even you who are criticizing. Let's
if you bring it home like that.
Yeah.
That's roughing. Nobody can answer.
Let's talk about you now, because this is leadership question. No, notice that he didn't say political leadership. Yeah, because most people just think about leadership, but they're thinking about politicians. But no, leadership is not just politics. It's just one. That's an aspect of leadership. But the most important leadership is personal leadership, and that's what you see here. And what are the things that guides and governs personal leadership? It's values. Values. That's it. Values. And it is the values that you've inculcated as a person that when you get to a position of authority, what that does is that it magnifies it. It just makes it, makes it pronounced. So for example, you are stealing money in your place of work, of which most civil servants do. Very corrupt. In their small, so what they're stealing is just 5,000 or 10,000 naira. But nobody knows it because it's, small. But when they become ministers and senators or presidents, they have access to more money.
More money.
So now they're not going to be stealing 10,000. What would they be stealing?
Billions.
You start hearing our politicians that are stealing billions. And the civil servants are there say, hey, people are thieves, they are thieves, they are thieves. But that's what they are doing in the policemen that are collecting bribes.
But what would they be different?
Now, that's what you get in this book. Now, let's now get to this book. Now, this book does not even tell you what Nigeria is and what Nigeria stands for.
Which one?
This book.
It doesn't tell you?
It doesn't tell you the calling and the purpose of Nigeria.
Ah, okay. It only tells you the history of
it. It just tells you the history. The history, that's it. So it doesn't tell you, okay, this is Nigeria and this no. It doesn't even give in details the value system as it did here.
So this speaks about the history of Nigeria and the history of leadership and your own role in leadership. But this comes now to just break down
the whole nation. Yeah, it breaks down the whole nation, because this doesn't break down the whole nation. This just gives you a part, the historical part. Yeah.
History and leadership.
But this is more comprehensive, because this doesn't just give you the history, because you're going to learn the history here. But here, it gives you a whole comprehensive knowledge of a nation. Not just a part, but it makes you understand the whole concept of a nation.
The core.
The core. Why?
The reason for the country.
Why? So, and then it connects it with
the purpose of the nation.
Yeah, to the purpose of the nation. Why was that nation birthed? Why was it that the founding fathers sacrificed their lives?
Came about that country. How did they come about that?
Why did they fight to get that nation?
What is the dream of that country?
What did they see in their nation?
What is the vision for that country?
How did they build that nation from the beginning? What were the things that they saw about the nation? And they're like, we are going to fight
the purpose of that country.
Nation. That's what this book does. And what the amazing thing about this book is that it's universal for any nation, every nation. Every nation. So I said this, that I actually told Pastor that this, for me, this is the Bible of nations. The Bible for nations. Bible. And the reason why I said Bible is because the Bible is so comprehensive. That's number one thing about the Bible. The Bible talks about everything. And thank God for Pastor Sandey that has made us realize that the Bible is so comprehensive. Because most of his teachings are based on the Bible. Yes. And he brings up stuff from the Bible, and I'm like, these things in the Bible? I mean,
Why is it I didn't see it before?
I never.
now?
I mean, like this, especially the Genesis chapter 1.
Yes.
I mean, how would someone have a whole week training and he didn't even finish
Go
it?
to any other scripture.
And everything was in Genesis 1. Yeah, go check Law and Order.
18 hours of teaching a day.
Law and Order, everything was in Genesis 1. Everything. So, I mean, so I gave this book and I named it the Bible of Nations. Why? Because it gives a comprehensive knowledge about a nation. Why no nation is accidental. I mean, we have over 200 nations in the world. None was by mistake. And everything.
Many people think that even Nigeria is a mistake or their own country is a mistake.
None is by mistake. None. No existing nation in the world. Everything was in the heart of God. And God has a purpose for each nation. I mean that by itself, some people would argue, so that means Iraq has a purpose.
Or Afghanistan.
Or Afghanistan has a purpose. You also asked me a question that time. So are you trying to say that Syria, to all those people they have, that God,
but it's a Muslim country. How can God
how
have?
can God have a visit? But the amazing thing about it is that
Even you yourself, you can go to Syria and tell them their purpose.
That's the point.
Even though they are Muslim countries.
Yes. I mean, you could
After reading this book, you can go to Afghanistan and get them and help them straight in their
nation.
purpose.
Yeah.
After reading this book.
So this book I mean, this is a book that everyone has to read. Everyone has to read because it will help you realize that it was not a mistake that you were born into that nation. Yeah. Because that's what he did to me too. I mean, I was like, sometimes as a Nigerian, you feel like,
A mistake?
I mean, why would God choose to just send me through Nigeria? Like, come on, there are other nations. I could have been an American and or a Canadian and something. I mean, by Nigeria. I mean, even our musicians have started saying Nigeria jaga jaga. So, but why Nigeria?
But push it.
Yeah, but then
give it to the girl.
This book, it made me realize that there's a reason. There's a reason why God sent me through Nigerian parents, and there's a responsibility on my shoulders. And the same thing applies to every one of us. That God is so intentional. That the reason why He sent you to this earth through that family, through that Nigerian parent, was because He has a specific purpose. He has something that you have to do for that nation. Not for yourself.
Yes. Yes.
Not for yourself, but for your nation. And that's the reason why when Jesus was leaving, He was talking to His disciples. He didn't tell them to go and make a living. He didn't tell them, go and make a living and you what. So go and disciple nations. Go and begin to disciple nations. So,
but then how do you come to values, both here and here?
The connection. Now the connection.
So you have not spoken about value here.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting there. I'm not getting there. So the thing about values, or let me go to the values, is that
because you have now spoken about discovering the purpose and calling of that nation.
Yeah.
How come values?
Good. So just as every house
has a foundation.
Every house, every building that you see
must have a foundation.
That's the same thing with nations. That every nation has a foundation. Every nation has a foundation. And the reason why any nation stands today is because of the foundation that nation was built upon. And I also shared too in the HMT.
No, before that, and the foundation is?
And the foundation is the values. The foundation is the values.
Every nation is based on values.
Every nation.
The nation begins to crumble, and when the values are being neglected and destroyed. The house begins to crumble when the foundation is destroyed.
So
it says
the father in nation.
If the foundation is
if the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do?
Because his foundation is righteousness.
Yes, righteousness. Yeah. So every nation is built on values.
Certain values.
On values. 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 And that is one thing that you'll also discover in this book. That every nation have certain values that the founding fathers, through the inspiration of God. And that's the reason why God is intentional with nations. And even with the people who were the founding fathers of those nations, some of them might not even have realized it. They might not have even known. But God, through inspirations, He just ministered into their hearts.
God uses men.
And some of them, they began to pen down what we refer to as the national anthem today. So, for example, we're listening to the South African national anthem. Just now. And we're seeing God is. Or you look at the Declaration of Independence of America. You see it. You see God right there. You see God right there. So every nation like that. Because God Himself gave the prototype when He was to build the earth, to create the earth. And the Bible said that it was by wisdom He founded the earth, and by understanding He established the heavens. Values. So God founded the earth on values. When He was to lay the foundation of the earth, it was on values. And even the heavens on values. So the same thing also He used with, even with the nation of Israel. Because when God was to lay the foundation of Israel, it was on values too. And that's what we see from when Pastor was teaching about the Ten Commandments and the role of the Ten Commandments. You see it, right?
Yes.
Values. So when He was telling them that this is how you should live, this is how you should live, you don't know because He wanted to destroy them. Values. Even when God was to lay the foundation of the church, on values. Everything is made of values.
The church is the foundation and the pillar
of the truth.
And truth is
truth. Everything is on values. So I find it difficult to understand how any aspirant. I mean, I'm not running for presidential position. I don't have a dream to be the president. My friend Victor does have. But I can't even understand how anybody running for any leadership position in politics would bypass values. I mean, what is your campaign about? What are you campaigning about?
Emptiness.
I mean, what are you talking?
Noise.
For me, there's nothing you have to talk about if not address values. If values is not your emphasis, if any other thing that we would make sure that the economy grows, we will make sure that we make our exploitation more, we will bring security.
The wool is still black.
Emptiness.
So if
the pot is still black.
So no matter what you do, sustainability can never be the equation. No matter
the pot.
Build the
didn't change
nothing. The ink. Yeah. The ink is not changed. So I mean, values cannot be overemphasized. For me, I'm so excited that that's what God had me to do, because I'm like God has given me the most important thing to do in Nigeria. Now, people who want to build roads, no
truth, no value.
No. People that want to build roads, that is what they want to do, or build hospitals.
Yes.
whatever
If
they
they
want
don't
to do.
have the integrity,
If I've not done my work,
Yes.
they will never be able to function.
they can't function.
Because they will not do it with honesty
No, honesty.
and with truth.
With truth.
True.
So no matter what they do, I mean, if you ever have the dream to do one thing in Nigeria, or, I mean, if the values are absent, nothing can stand. Nothing can stand. And that's what's making us even poor as a nation.
So what is the difference between the values in this book, the value system, the way it's spoken about in this book, and the way it's spoken about in this book? Because there is value system in the two too.
Yeah. So now let's make the difference clear. Now in this book, Nigerian
Professor. Professor, he is the new professor in town.
thanks now is this book or now this book so now this book help us. They didn't teach me in school. Is this book that
No, because you are doing better with this topic than your medicine.
I mean clearly I mean my professor.
It's like you are a professor on this topic, not on your medicine. How many years on that medicine?
I spent 6 years now. I'm spending another 2 years right now. So I finished 6 years in medical school. Now I'm doing my specialty. Another 2 years.
Well, but this one you are good, better in it than.
I mean, I practical about this on myself. Then that's why when I think about Messi again, I'm like, Pastor, please let's shift.
Forget medicine.
Yeah, let's not talk medical stuff here. Yeah, because this is for me. This brings life to me. Yeah, I mean, I'm awakened. I mean, I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm here for.
alive.
I'm alive.
Take the thing, so that the thing will understand.
Yeah, I'm alive. So I mean, I'm talking about this. I'm like, this is why I'm here. 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 Because this book, talking about the values in this book, what it does is that, I mean, the difference is that it makes you just have a picture of the idea of values, the ink. So, for example, you read the book and you see that, what we need to change.
It's not just leadership.
Yeah, not just leadership.
You can change till we have changed for 50 years now.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
It didn't work.
For 5,000 years.
It will never work. It will never work. So that's what this book does.
That you need to change the ink.
Yeah, that we need to change the ink.
Right.
That the issue.
The
I mean,
pot is there.
when you finish reading the book,
The pot is
The pot is there.
the
The pot is there.
the pot is there.
Yeah, with the black.
And you need to change the ink.
Yeah.
So you just know that, okay, I mean, you can't read this book and still think that the problem with Nigeria is leadership. No. This book will make you realize that the problem is not leadership. The problem is the ink. We need to change the ink. It does not tell you what the right ink is necessarily. It does not go into details about what are those
Value, where do they come from?
Yeah,
How
where do
you
they come from?
establish
How do
them?
you establish them? You don't see them yet. It just makes you realize that, hey guys, our problem is not our political
Stop
leaders.
daydreaming.
Stop daydreaming. Stop waiting.
No
for-
Messiah will come.
No Messiah will come. There's no Messiah. I mean, no Messiah will change anything. What we need to change.
But
is
if you change the ink, all of you can become the Messiah.
exactly. So that's where it stops. That's where it stops. It doesn't go further. It doesn't teach you anything more. It just makes you realize that, hey, values, that's what we need to change. So it just makes you, it awakens you. It separates you from an average Nigerian thinking that our problem is leadership. Because an average Nigerian is saying we need to change our leaders. So now they want to remove Buhari because they think it's a leadership issue. But they fail to realize that Buhari is not our problem. Bring in another person. In the next 4 years, you start doing the same thing you do for Buhari, what you do for him. Because that's the same thing they did for Jonathan too. When Jonathan was there, Jonathan, get out, Jonathan. Buhari came into government, and now everybody's saying Buhari should get out. The same thing, the same cycle will happen in the next 4 years too. 2019 is here. Next 4 years, they're going to say, oh no, you get out, next person. We would never get a white wool from a pot that is black. Never. That's like impossible. So now, you now know that our problem is not leadership. Our problem is with values. So now you now go and get this book.
Okay.
And now this book now says you can discover the purpose and the calling of your nation. And then you now discover that, this Nigeria that I'm talking about, the founding fathers built this nation
On certain
on
values.
certain values.
Hmm.
On certain values that they actually, I mean, the foundation of Nigeria was on some values. So what it now does is that it now enumerates them for you.
Hmm.
It now gives you all of those values
Hmm. In this one.
in this one. But
Each one of them.
each one of them. But the good part is that it doesn't just even give you the list, but it takes you on a journey of discovering how it even came by.
Oh! How to discover.
How to discover it. Because it's easy to just say, okay, hey, these are the 20 values of Nigeria,
Okay.
and it doesn't even tell you how to discover it.
I see.
So you might just think, oh, maybe this guy just came out with some nice,
By himself.
he's a pastor, so these things are
Okay.
nice. But nope, it shows you how it came about. Shows you, okay, this is it. Now, these are things that are glaring to you. You see this every day. Sometimes you even sing them. Sometimes you even read them. You even recite them. You have seen them in your nation. But those things are just screaming value to you, but you can't hear it. You know how someone can be screaming to you, but you're deaf.
Yes.
You can't hear it. You can't. But it's there saying that it's me, this is love, this is unity, this
Yeah,
peace.
because that lady, Peace, that was
Yeah.
here, she was saying, what shocked her is that how can somebody just look at the funding document and that when she had the list of 20 values that you mentioned, that how can you even think in that direction?
Yeah.
How can you even get there? How do you even know that is values? How do you even know that's what it's called? How do you even set them and be able to extract them from all the things? She said, they just lay that.
Yeah. And that's exactly, I mean, what she experienced is exactly what I experienced. And it was just like that wake up call, that light bulb moment, that boy, now you know what you're going to do for your nation. Boy, you know exactly. So, I mean, it took me on a journey to review all of the national symbols of Nigeria. So I sat down. I began to understand them. Oh, okay, this is why this horse is here. So this horse is here. It's not just for joking. The coat of arms. I mean, I mean, we see the horses there, but we don't even know why they're there.
Everybody thinks decoration.
Yeah. I mean, we see our beautiful green.
Oh, you have seen it now.
Yeah.
Eh? You don't, only the horse,
Yeah.
not the values. You saw the horse,
That's something else.
but you didn't see the values. And I think you are not the only one. The whole country knows that horse,
Very well. Very well.
but they don't know what they stand. No idea of what it stands for.
Well, it's possible some do, but not everybody. A lot of people don't. It looks so beautiful.
Decoration, beautiful decoration. Green horse.
Yeah, so it takes you on that journey. We're talking about the difference in these books. So the value system of this book, now what is
Professor. You are the new professor now.
So it makes you.
And this is my dream.
Yeah.
That all these books I'm writing, my own journey, my own thing, is to release them. Let everybody be specializing on different topics that is in their own passion. Different. Let everybody specialize like that. If they are going to 1,000 books, I will go to heaven. Now there is answer
So questions.
to all the questions of
Yes. Yes.
That's what my idea. So people will know. The people will not be left on the earth without answers and without direction.
Yeah.
So for the next 500 years, 300 years, while I'll be in heaven with the angels, at least people will not be confused and be in darkness. Like I was in my generation. Everybody just going to school. Yes, everybody just going to school and having papers. No direction, no illumination. Yeah.
So that's the first thing that you get from this book as regards values. The values is not just the ink in that pot, but it's actually the foundation of the nation. And if any nation would be developed, if any nation would be civilized, if any nation would grow, I mean, you just have to go to the values. So I tell people, show me a nation that is strong on values. I'll show you a developed nation. That's it. And show me a nation that is weak in values. I'll show you an undeveloped nation. Why? Because, like what Pastor always says, that a nation is not wealthy by virtue of his wealth, or great by virtue of his wealth. But a nation is great by the wealth of its virtues. So it is the virtues of a nation that makes the nation great.
Matilda, you got it? You want him to repeat it?
Yeah. So a nation is not great.
A nation is great.
Or a nation is great not by
the
virtue of its wealth,
its values.
Or
not by the virtues of
not by the virtues
not by the virtues of his wealth,
but by the wealth
of his virtues.
So by the wealth of his virtues,
not by the virtue of his wealth, but by the wealth of his virtues.
So it is virtues that makes nation great. Values. Values. That's what makes any nation great. And it is because that's where the foundation is. So now, understanding the psychology, and not psychology, but understanding how buildings are made. You know, if you want to make a skyscraper, so the taller the building, if you don't know it, the deeper the foundation. So when you want to build a skyscraper, the foundation is almost as deep as the skyscraper. Why? Because the deeper the foundation, then the more you can build. So the more a nation has as citizens deep into values, the more a nation has as citizens in such a way that values are engraved deep down with their consciousness. Like you go to Japan,
or go to Europe,
or you go to Europe,
America,
or you go to America.
Even they might not even believe in God.
No,
but the values are already everywhere.
You can see it everywhere. So they say
they themselves might not even know what it's called, but it's already built on it.
Yeah. So you hear them say, "I'm German. This is how we do. I'm German. I'm German." Or I'm
German work ethics.
German work ethics. I'm a Japanese. This is how I think.
Japanese punctuality.
Yeah, punctuality. Or you go to America, you see their work ethics too.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is what makes them as a nation. So I was asking people, okay, I'm Nigerian. Okay, what's now?
419.
Okay, I'm a Nigerian. What do I stand for as a Nigerian?
419. Scam. Nigerian scam.
Okay, I'm Nigerian. What defines me as a Nigerian?
That's where we need those 20.
That's when we need those 20 values. So it becomes just like it becomes something that, I mean, I don't know how to say.
So you want Nigeria to appear and say these are the most virtuous people
in the world, that we are the most sought after to do business with. So we won't seek advice from. Why? Because they won't deceive you. They
have values.
They have values.
Yeah, they want to get the contract.
Yes. And because that's it.
They're the ones you want to have dealings with.
Yeah. Well, because they are people of virtue. I mean, the idea of the African time, Nigerian time, you don't find it. Well, the reason why we have Nigerian time is lack of values. That's it. That's it. The reason why we have people who are agitating for Biafra today is because of lack of values. That's it. We don't have those values. The reason why in Nigeria we still have jungle justice in the 21st century is not because of any other thing but lack of values. So, check anything in any area of the nation where you see something not going in the right manner. It's not because people are bad. Like Pastor taught us, no one is bad. People just they make bad decisions. They have bad behaviors. But notice that for every behavior that you exhibit, every decision that you make, there's an information where it's coming from. So now imagine we now change the whole bank from where people make their decisions, and we change that that black ink,
and we change it to white, where whatsoever is informing any Nigerian to make any decision or to act in a certain way because of the values we have put there. So it is the values now that are informing their decision. So the next time you have a project with someone, with a Nigerian, Pastor, imagine in Nigeria right now that we're in Nigeria, we're now signing contracts, not with necessarily with paper, but our words right now becomes our bond.
Yes.
That I just tell you that, my bro, I'm going to have a contract with you, and the contract will be like this, and you can trust me, and I will prove to you that I'm trustworthy, without us even signing a contract.
A new reputation.
Yeah. That you could leave your door open in your house, and you're not scared that anything will enter.
Yes.
I see how it happens here in Europe. There is no serious car park. People come to their houses, they leave their cars outside. Some don't even lock their cars.
Yeah.
Or their house. But it's safe. Nobody comes into their house. Why? Are they special beings? They're not special beings.
Values.
Just values. They just know that, no, I have to respect my I have to respect his property. I can steal from him.
Yes.
The labors of our heroes past should not be in vain. What does that label mean? Not just heroes. That's, you know where I got that from? The labor of our heroes past shall not be in vain. From a national anthem. What does that mean? You value the labor of everyone.
That if they sing it and they don't
that if my neighbor does something, he walks and he has a car, that is the reward of his labor. I must value. His labor must not
It's in the national anthem, but people don't pay attention to it.
So we sing it.
They don't even know what it means.
Of our heroes past shall never be in vain. What is that telling us? That you begin to respect the reward of everybody. So you don't want to steal from anyone because you are respecting their labor should not be in vain.
No.
They've labored.
And people just want to just sing national anthem, but they don't know because they are not talking about it as if it's
values. That's just one line.
Top boy.
Sir.
You see what is happening here?
It's a lot. The national anthem is for the assembly ground.
Yeah,
when the students gather and,
they don't know what is behind it.
All values. So, Pastor, what more can I say? It goes beyond that. It now teaches you how this can be done. Practically.
How to make those values be inculcated by every citizen of the country.
True.
Yes.
It's in this book.
Yeah.
Yes.
How you can propagate those values.
How to make every citizen, how to change that ink.
Yeah.
How to change it from black
to white.
So when doctors say this the Bible, it is truly converted into a Bible.
Yeah.
Because the values are existing there, and not just one, but the entire for the entire nation to function from those values.
Powerful.
And for every country.
For every nation.
Yes.
Every nation. Every nation. Pastor, one more can I say? Thank you.
This book was forwarded by Pastor Pierre.
Yeah.
So what will you say? Let's hear from you. Do you confirm some of those things he said?
Yes, of course.
Give it. What do you say? Because you wrote very powerful things here.
Thank you. And what I was thinking was I have a different points of view, but I think I want to have very different perspective that something that I get, for example, because my reference is the Bible. I've grown as a pastor, so a lot of my references are from books, Bible, the church. And I would say, sadly, for example, the only way we have been taught to to decode our national anthems or symbols is like a spiritual warfare.
Okay.
You see this point of view, and most of the time we try only to see what is
Wrong.
yes. So we so it's sad, and you know, it brings you no hope. You only see and you it seems like you're captured in a devilish culture or something. You know, you only see this.
But most churches are captured in devilish culture.
Yes.
Most of these churches are
So
satanic culture, spiritual, evil spirit culture.
yeah. So of course it's presented like you want to free your nation by praying, you know, all this stuff, spiritual warfare, which is not bad, but there is something very different here. And for me, you have done, it's just like who I am, but at the level of the nation. You're starting, what I love in the book, say, you started from the God's point of view of nation, and so you founded first the God's purpose and identity of nation. Then as you alone should do this, you go straight to practical application, history, all what we just mentioned about the anthem, the values that are embedded in the time of foundation of the nations, so many things. Before forwarded the book, I have to read it 2 or 3 times because it was so rich. I read it from not from cover to cover because it was before it has a cover. It was manuscript, but I have forgotten. Well, there is so many good stuff, good information, and it's simple, it's comprehensible, it's logical, but from the heart of God to today. That's what I love. It's really traceable, and you understand the process, you understand how God thinks, and you can do something. I can retrace my history. I can understand also the value system that nations are founded on, value system, and I can also understand how to do something, how to relate to what is good in my nation, which is needed, because as a Christian, if I only see my nation as a spiritual problem and all, I have to do warfare, and so I'm very grateful for this book. And for me, every prophetic, real prophetic people who is speaking about nations shall master the principle. Not only not only
just read.
No.
Put it into
Because if you want to,
you must master the book,
Yes.
the principles in the book.
yes, yes. No, we prophesy or we teach according to our faith. So if I only see, if I'm trained to see what are the spiritual forces that are hindering nations, and you speak about that, by the way. You speak that every nation has an angel or spirit behind, so you're not
against spiritual
yes, but there is a balance that is not present, to my knowledge, in the best of the charismatic work today. That's why even someone wants to really prophesy or teach about nations, which is a topic we have in church. I'm aware about this. We have to conquer nations, to love nations, to save nations, and but if your only knowledge is this one, or bring back the old revival, we have those topics also, but this one is really needed for every missionary, every prophetic people, every Christian, every person concerned about the fate of nations. You have to read this and to master the topics. If you want to prophesy or teach, it will give you a new point of view and also work to do, because you need to, even if it's pre-worked, you have to put your mind in it and research and pass it again. So very, very huge content in this book. Yeah. Thank you for having written it.
What will you say about the HMT?
Well, it's related.
This time.
Yes, it's related to this book. From my personal experience, I'm grateful to God because the first time I came, it was about Let Heroes Arise, becoming a personality, and it instilled of me this part that was neglected about my identity, even as a human being, as a Christian, I would say. And this one for me is just because I know how God works, how it has been in my life. God first built identity, then ministry came out. Yes, identity every time. You cannot function
without
foundation.
Yeah.
So unction is
identity.
Yes, it's identity. Your knowledge of God. What God, for example, in French it works. In English it won't better. For example, when Simon had the revelation of who Jesus was,
yes,
he said to Jesus, "Oh, you are the Messiah," and instantly Jesus said, "Oh, you have a revelation of who I am, but now you are no more Simon. You are not Peter in France. It's the rock. And on this rock, I will build my church."
That's a better translation.
Yes. So it means God cannot build on natural identity. And when your identity is changed, I will build upon rocks. Jesus won't build his church upon Simon's.
Upon human
nature.
Human nature.
If it's not his church, even if it's at the good name.
It is Simon's church.
It's Simon's church. But ministry is built on identity. When my first HMT in November, I received identity, and this HMT, I received the ministry, which is linked
commission
to this. Yes, to commission. So for me, I'm getting. No, I'm on project. The first one.
And you are taking responsibility for these countries in Africa that are missing it, that are losing.
Yeah, I started something in Ivory Coast, and I know I'm more. It's deep in me already. I know I'm fathering this nation. And it's stuff that worried me from 30 years ago, from the beginning of my new birth. Yes, I have nations in my heart, African world, lot of things, but it seems like God hid me a lot of years and he built a lot of things in me. But now that I'm released, thanks also to what I get in your environment, it seems like it's easy. Each step I make. So I want to accelerate it because I can feel every step I make. It's like I make 100 steps and I never experienced that. I've prepared all my life for this. Yes. So I'm something, and this HMT for me gave me it was the following part. The last word you had for me when I left, you wrote me, I think, something, and I know it was there, and for me it's linked to teachings I had, revelation I had from years, and you said me, maybe now you could be the Regram of nation. Yes. And it was exactly what I was moving forward on. Yeah. And when I came to the HMT, inside of me, I'm almost sure the theme is going to be about a bride of nation, and I'm not surprised that when the books get out, and it was the book, it was the theme. So I'm very happy because what I really appreciate of your work is that you as I said, with this one, it's like you have the method to start from the revelation and
The mind of God.
yes, and to put us on ground with this, and that's what I love, because I knew how to get revelation from the Word, fresh one, to change my mind, to change me, but after how to be really practical, how to put this in practice, how to get detailed in this part is blurry for me. It's sometimes difficult. I try things, but I'm not sure of how. I'm losing time sometimes. And what I get from everything you teach and what we get in the HMT is that it's clear, it's practical. It's like you pave the way. You pave the way from A to Z. So it's easy for me. And one more reflection I'd like to add, I've shared this already with my team, is that I have some ideas, but I would like you to answer this for me, because the kind of person you are, the kind of ministry you are preaching, you have already done, and we know a part of it, and I could say, how is it that, for example, we are here at HMT, you are giving us hours each day, and behind those hours there are more hours of work and everything, all the team also, and we are just maybe 20 some people, ordinary people. You normally someone of your standard, you could easily, and you have done this, actually, you could make a pastors, leaders conference with 3,000 people. You can came and not letting everyone share on your own platform, only you came, you preach, from authority, everyone praising you, you can solve 2,000 books, make a good profit of it, what everyone does. So I have maybe some idea. I know you're intentionally what you do, but first of all, my conclusion of this here, I don't want to take it lightly. It's not because you are giving freedom, you are close to us. It's just like I can do this, I do this with, but we are not operating from the same level. Everyone is okay. It's not humility, it's reality. So, first of all, I don't take it lightly, and I want to thank you. I appreciate the real little everything, because it's huge to be in your environment. Something happens, not only with the teaching, something spiritually happens without pushing it emotionally, something is happening, I can't. You don't provoke things to happen, things are happening. And so I don't take it lightly, but it questions me a little bit, because what is your strategy behind, what is your... I leave it as a huge privilege. I appreciate it.
That is your number one. Maybe you will still have number 2, number 3 questions, but in connection to that, I will answer. But let me answer this number 1. But this question you ask, before I answer it, first of all, I will say thank you. Thank you so very much for having eyes that see.
Yes.
And having heart of wisdom. And having understanding of honor. I have decided to make myself simple, accessible, and humble, intentionally, for my own sake. Because I know that what God has given me and what I'm doing, if to tell you absolute truth, but people who are watching and who are my critics, they will misinterpret it. They will. But I have to be like this because I realize that I don't know any human being that is doing or that is having the content that I've not met. Maybe there are many there, but I've not met any human being that is having the content that what God has trusted in me with. So, and I know that if I don't behave like this, it's going to kill me. So I have to make myself humble I have to kill myself before before God kills me. So I know that I have something from God, and I need God's help to make myself not to be carried away by it.
Okay.
Because if I stand a very big danger if I just meet with the big guys. Because when I meet with the big guys, they are not talking the same thing that I want to talk about. They are not thinking about the same thing that I want to think about. They are thinking about and talking about no people. They're talking about ministry, their success. But I know where I come from. I come from a domila, no shoes till I was 12 years old. See my legs. If you don't see it before, see, there are 200 scars like this in each leg. Each one, there are 200. See the other one. There are minimum 200 each in each one. In each one of these legs, there are minimum 200 scars. The village there, everywhere you can count it. We can count it and make a record of every one of them rotting for years, like for 10 years of my life. About 200 flowers. I mean, no flies, house flies are just all over me. Everywhere I go, flies just all cover me. If I go with my mother and my grandmother to somewhere, they don't allow me to enter. They allow my grandma. So I know where I come from. And where I'm coming from, where I am now, what I have now, people from me, like me, they don't go there. They don't get to get there. People, what I say. What I have now, and who I am now, people who come from where I come from,
nobody can reach.
They don't get there. But I am the one that is there now. And I am the one to make ordinary human beings like this get there. So I decided for myself to become my life mission for me personal, not for public, but personal mission, life goal, is that I will only be two things in my life. I will be a ladder. I am the one on the ladder on the wall. You climb on me, climb to go to your destiny, to go to your purpose. That's number one. Number two thing, I am a bridge. I lie down, I lay my life down. You ride and cross from one bank of the sea to the other side. But I am the bridge. I will lie down with all my gifts, with all my calling. I lay down so that you will be able to travel and be able to climb. That is what I have decided. Because when I was low, nobody noticed me. And I don't want anybody to be unnoticed. I know how bad it is, how painful it is. So people who are on top, they're already good. They don't have time. They are fine. But I know that when I was down, everybody was always passing. Nobody knew that a human being is standing there. So now I see anybody that is lower than me, I want to notice them. And I want to become a ladder for them and a bridge for them so that they will be able to come up. So, so that's why I would rather be with ordinary human beings that are hungry, that want to do something, that want to learn, and they are interested to become anything. I would rather be with them than with all these powerful. I've been with the powerful, believe me. I know what I've been. Nobody needs to tell me. I've been with everybody. If you want to talk about spiritual, I've been with spiritual T.D. Jakes, Benny Hinn, Ora Roberts, Kenneth Hagin, T.L. Osborne. I've been with anybody. Mention anyone. I've been with them personally. I know them. Fred Price, Rehan Bonke, they're my friends. So I've been at the very, very, very top. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. What people are doing there, they're doing a good job. Adeboye, Oyedepo, all the Nigerian ones, I know them personally. So I've been there. But they are good. Let them do what they're doing. But I'm coming from a different background. A background of, low, from the very below zero. And then I also came to Russia. And in Russia, God locked me out. I've never been a church member in my life. I never became a church member. I never was under some GOs or bishops or something. So I was just in Russia. And in Russia, God told me, when I want to do something different, I take my generals to the wilderness. And I teach them so that they will not be contaminated with other things. Some people I will teach them and train them in the church. Some people I train them in the Bible schools. Some people I train them with mentorships, with a senior minister to mentor them. But when I want to do something different and unique, and I don't want anything to mess it up, I take them to the wilderness. Like I did with Moses, I did with Elijah, I did with John the Baptist, I did with Paul. That is your own Bible school. That's what God told me. So I know that what people are doing, what they are saying, it's okay for them. But if anybody wants to learn and to grow, I'm going to give them a chance. So for you to notice that, I don't even expect people to notice it. Most people don't notice. People just say, okay, oh, good. Okay? I just, some people, he told me very helpful. He said, if you do that for Nigerians too much, you give them they think, what does he want from me? Does he want something from me? Why is he? They will think I need something from them. No, I don't. I just want to give everybody a chance. Yeah. So that is the one part of that answer. If there is going to be another part to that answer, probably I would just say, God also helps me to be humble and to be broken. God helps me to be broken and stay humble and simple through my troubles. So just like with Paul, God said, I gave you so many revelations and they are too much that I need to send the agent of Satan to buffet you and to give you a thorn in the flesh. So he had a thorn in the flesh because he had too many revelations. So the same thing with me. And I think I have a lot of this trusted revelation and things. And God had to put me in a condition where I am constantly being humbled. So, in Russia here where I'm living, you can't believe what I've done for this country. If you see the statistics, we have even certificates and plagues and awards and rewards from the government. I have a whole book of rewards and awards from a whole magazine, a whole book of awards from Ukrainian government, and where it is documented that we have saved this country over $2 billion, our church alone. And we've been able to minister to one-on-one in Ukraine alone, maybe minimum 20 million people. So and all over the world, 70 million people. So we've done some things. But despite that, God allowed the government to always persecute me and to always put me in a situation whereby I have to be humbled. I have to be constantly broken. Maybe it is attacks of the government, maybe it's the KGB, maybe it is rumors and lies, maybe it is accusations, maybe it is court cases. Just something is going on all the time, and I know it's for me, it's for my good, because I needed, from the level of, I've been doing personal relationship, solitude with God for over 20 years now. So, and after that, believe me, I don't need to pray for God to show up. And that's why you notice in the HMT that without even praying, you feel the presence of God here like nowhere else.
Yes.
Even ordinarily. I don't need to do it, because I have prayed for every 4 months, every month for 20 years, every month. I never miss 1 week not to pray, not to go and pray and fast and 18 hours a day and 14 hours a day. So at least for a week. So that's like for 20 years constantly. In every 4 weeks, I would take 1 week out. So at the point when I did that for 8 years, God became to me as if it's my skin. I don't need to look for God. It's like I'm breathing God. It's like I'm one with Him. I began to understand what Jesus said. I and my Father are one. For me, it is not a theory anymore. I don't read it in the Bible. I experience it. I live it. Before I go to preach, I used to pray, oh God, now I know how to switch. God told God, it's just like you have frequency of radio. Now I know how to switch. If I need to see Jesus now, I will see Him right now. I don't need to pray. I just need 1 second to just switch from what I'm doing, from you to Him. If I need to receive word of knowledge of what's going on with you now, I'm just going to need to switch and download it. When I'm going to preach, I'm not praying before I go to, but before I have to pray. So right now I became like I am married to Jesus. I breathe, I live with Him. So, but it's it happened after 8 years of constantly doing this. Solitude. So after that 8 years, it just took off to another level. So when you have that kind of relationship, you have to always be humbled. And God is helping me. And also, I remember where I come from. So all my story, everything is helping me to do that. And but now, I have a bigger challenge in my hand. And the big challenge that I have is to attempt, by the grace of God, to do what everybody has been trying to do and be failing, to try to make Africa a first world continent, starting from Nigeria. That, even though I am so close with God, and he's my friend, he's my father, but even me, I see the weight of the continent on me, and I feel the weight of the responsibility. I know exactly what to do. I see clarity. I have the details, picture. I know exactly what to do. But I know the heaviness of that responsibility to shake, because I know all the attacks and all the fights and all the oppositions that we have. The problem is not to change the country for me, but the problem would be to convince people not to disturb me, not to delay me, not to kill me before that. You see? So that would be the problem. They will not kill me, but I will need to survive. I will need to fight every day to help people who I will need to fight. People who I want to help are the ones who we're going to fight the most. Yeah, so I have that weight in me. Then I also have to humble myself all the time, because God is showing me what to do, how to do it, but I cannot do it because I am under limitation. And this is also God's wisdom. I'm in Ukraine. I cannot leave Ukraine because God, I said, I know the reason why. There are reasons why I cannot live, not just because of God is using the lawsuit for my favor, for me. But sometimes because I know what to do, how to do it, sometimes when I hear stories of what is happening, I want to go and do it right now. But if you have possibility to do something and you physically cannot go and do it, it's a different kind of suffering. You know, most people don't have resources to do what they need to do. But when you have it and you cannot, like right now, I have resources, financial also, much more than anybody could imagine. But I cannot access. Or I cannot even, not just forget about resources, I cannot even access Nigeria. I cannot even go. I cannot even access the country where I want to go and save. You know, you know what to do to help the country. So it's a different kind of suffering. But it's a suffering of humility. I have to always be humbled because I know God's time is the best. Now, also, every day, what you just noticed, that you are humble with just a few of us, you serve us, you are easy with us. I go through that every day. Okay, did you notice that today when we were setting up these things, the girls, because this is a new team, I was having a team of Mayowa, Julia, and they've gone. So these people are just learning to help me now. So, you know, and they were not doing everything right. I was doing it myself. Because they don't speak English and they don't, but we still need to work. So I'm doing that humility every day. And then also, but what is making me to be more humble every day is when any time when I listen to somebody preach, pastors or preacher, or people send things to me, or I put on Facebook, when I see what people are doing in Christianity and in the world of government or politicians, they are doing it wrong. You know, when politicians cannot fix the country, and I know how to fix it, and I'm sitting here, and I have to be quiet and say, okay, thank God. No, you know, just have to find a way to make yourself be silent and be humble. That is everyday suffering for me. And that's what Solomon said. There is suffering in wisdom. Then the second thing is, apart from politicians, my country, but everybody's suffering, and they cannot fix it, and I know what to do. I'm teaching you these principles now. Okay, now also, another thing is, I see Christians, pastors, and churches struggling, getting it wrong. Because if I talk, they will say I'm proud, or are you the only one who knows? So I have to be quiet. So every day I have to always behave and keep quiet and just do as if I don't see, I just see God, I just trust God, I just live. Until God gives me opportunity to talk to people like you, then I talk. If not, if nobody wants to learn, if nobody is asking, I keep quiet. And I don't want to go and say I know or something. I can talk on my own platform, but I see people just wasting their lives, doing things wrong. And I can help them, but maybe they don't know. I don't want to tell them that you are doing things wrong. It will come across as if you are proud, so you have to be quiet. So those things, they are more humility for me, breaking of me every day than this HMT. This is good for me because you have people who want to learn. But every day when I see that I could help people, and they are not even noticing that I don't even care if I'm here or if I can help or cannot help, they don't even know I exist. That makes me, you have to be really humble to break yourself and keep quiet and trust God. I don't know if I answered the question.
Yes. I saw already the 3 times I came. I saw how you behave. So and knowing about you, I knew you were chosen to be like to help others, and I see it in everything you do. So you're a huge model. But in ministry, I'm saying it's a choice because you could advertise, do something in the church, invite people from all over the world. You even in staying in Ukraine and being humble to not to go to Nigeria, you should have done things differently and try to invest in other type of people. You have the freedom to do.
Yeah, because one thing is, I've decided not to do conferences and teaching for the crowd anymore. When I used to travel to speak in conferences, I now think I wasted my life. When I'm free to travel, I will never be going to conferences to speak anymore. I think now there is a waste of time. People think, when I travel, I receive honorarium for every speaking engagement. That's what people give me. I don't even ask for it, but they give me anyway. Minimum $5,000 for just to speak one time, 1 hour. 1 hour of speaking is $5,000. Anywhere I go to speak, Australia, America, England, just $5,000 just to speak. But I'm not interested. And they put me in first class. They put me in hotel. I'm not interested. It's a waste of God's money, and it's a waste of resources. Because when I go there to speak, maybe I speak 2 times, or 1 time, or 3 times, maybe a few times, 3 times, and I leave. Everybody forget, and the life goes on as usual. I'm not interested. So right now, I'm afraid of getting crowd. I don't want to repeat that because I've done that before. I don't know if you're not that I'm afraid. I don't have fear, but I don't want to risk it. I want to find 1, 2, 3 like Jesus. Now I understand Jesus better. Jesus had all the crowds. Even people in my church, who was there in church, you were in church. You have thousands of people in church, but I'm not even inviting them. I just want people who are desperate. Only people who are desperate, who really, that's why I want to just invite people who have proved to me that they are desperate by watching DSA platform every day, over and over. They're paying the price to do daily broadcasts, to watch, to listen to 200 messages, to be listening every day. Those who have paid the price like that, they are like, now I am happy because I know they have proved to me that they want to do something, they want to change something, they are desperate enough to make it different. I don't know if you understand.
Yes, that's what I wanted to.
If I go to crowd church, I don't guarantee their price. They have not paid the price. They have not deserved it from it. But people who have been following every day, who change their schedule to listen every day, every time, or 2 times a day to listen all the time, they have changed their lifestyle. They have proved, that they are desperate for something. They have read the book. They have. I just want those ones. I don't want all other millions. I don't want them because they are not ready. Everything I speak to people who are not prepared, what I speak will think to them like an heresy. It will seem to them like an heresy because they are not prepared for it. So if they have not paid the grand foundation, if they have not
the groundwork.
The underground work, they have not done it. They have not, refined themselves a little bit. They have not cleaned up the
garbage,
the dirt from the old by listening already. Whatever I'm going to be saying, I have to start from little. I have to start every time. I have to be starting from scratch. I cannot do that anymore. But the people who have already listened to 100, 200 messages, now I can talk free. They are no more thinking, is he talking the truth? Is he in heresy? Is he not right? I don't know if you get it.
I get it very well. Thank you. Thank you, sir. In fact, it's very strong because it's just like it's the opposite of what people are usually searching. And man can think, but is he not losing in his time investing here? Or
Yeah.
you're just saying the contrary. I was losing my time investing
When I
in
was
those type
traveling,
of person.
yeah.
So thank you.
No, now too, like for example, this HMT, every time we do HMT, I always subsidize it. Our house, we subsidize, we help.
Okay.
We are not making everybody to pay everything.
Mm-hmm.
We subsidize a little bit. And also, when it's small amount of people, it's even more.
Costly.
Yeah, so, but that is material.
Mm-hmm.
But what you invest in people in life is immaterial and it's always more valuable. So that's number one. Number two, if you want to look at my time, my 1 hour is $1,000. Not when honorarium, just every day. Just my every day, what I produce every day is $1,000. When I'm sitting with you now for 3 hours, that is $3,000, $3,500. Just sitting. But what people don't know is that I speak 6 hours every day to them. That's $6,000 every day I'm losing. I could use that I could use that time to produce not $6,000, but things that would worth more. But I am giving that because that's what people don't even need to know about that.
Mm-hmm.
But the time is coming, I'm not going to do that anymore too, because it will be too expensive for me to do that. So I am recording. So what I'm doing now is not just for them who are listening now.
Yeah.
It's for the future, because when it will be expensive for me to just be teaching or be doing what I'm doing now, when I could, for example, be, solving a major problem in Africa, I would rather go and do that. I will not be doing this anymore.
Yeah.
So right now that God is locked me up and make me to be able to do this, I really want to do it.
Okay.
Not thinking about the cost.
Thank you very much.
And not for the crowd, but for the desperate and the prepared. I don't know if you
Yes,
Thank you.
100%.
Thank you.
And my last thing I want to add with this kind is first I don't take it lightly, because I know some of the things, and I want to say also that I'm not going to deceive you, not because of personal, but because of what you do. Because I understand the way you are doing things. I'm just like your kind, and for me it's so great, because I try to find sometimes, do I have to change me, or do I have to find someone who is doing, and you're very good, perfect model for me. And what I want to say is that for me, I know your reward is not in money, it's in fruits.
Yes.
And I'm gonna
to continue this.
Yes, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make
You just nailed it. Boom. There is no greater reward for me than to see people who understand this message of the kingdom. And they don't need to I don't need tithes, I don't need offering, you don't need to be under my ministry, you don't need to be my disciple, you don't need to call me mentor, you don't need to be under me at all. Just go and do it. Don't even say you know me. Just say you don't even know me. Just go and do what you need to do. But go and practice it. That's my own. If I see you doing it and you say I don't know you anymore, I'm happy for you, but you are doing something.
Yes.
That's what I like. And that's what you say. So there's no greater reward than to go and practice this.
Yes, you have invested. And like a talent, I'm gonna multiply it. I want to bring fruits for God, but also I'm thankful, but I know I have to do something. I am going to.
Because I cannot go to Africa now, but you can go.
Yeah.
So, that's my joy. You know what Livio is doing in Germany, in Holland. I don't even need to do. For me, I'm fulfilled. I go and do more for more people. So but if I go to, like for example, before Livio, you didn't see me when he started obeying and following the principle. But before then, I used to go to Holland every 2 months or 3 months. For 3 years, I did that. And I had, you know what? In Holland, I had 45 churches come under me. All of them Dutch, white, Netherlands churches. 45.
Yeah.
They say, we want you to be under, we want you all to be. Well, and I was going, they were doing conferences, and all the pastors and the apostolic leaders in Holland, they come to me to learn. I go and teach them, everybody. But conferences now, I'm saying that was a loss and a mistake. Because I was going there to do conferences. But if I would go anywhere now, first of all, everybody that wants me to go, they have to listen to as many messages as possible, read as many books as possible. Then I will only go to do HMT. HMT style. But before I come, you must be prepared. You must first of all read some books, some messages, be ready, renew your mind.
Yes.
Then we go, and you must not go out for a week. You must not go and call or go and eat or go and for a walk. You must refuse. You must be hungry enough to refuse everything, and you will not find many people who will be willing to do that.
That's true.
For 1 week, I just listen and do exam and be intense and pay the price.
Okay.
Because then, those are the people I know they are serious. Then I can invest myself in them. All other people, they don't need me. I'm useless for them. I am not needed. So when I used to go there, just do conference. Next conference, other person come. Next conference, other people bring new things. They forgot. Nobody remembers what I thought about. The conferences, they don't change. For me, it's a loss. This is a game. He didn't even come to, he didn't even know me that time. But just by listening to my daily broadcast, not even daily broadcast, YouTube, he was able to do more than my 3 years of going to do conference, what they have done. And we were having thousands of people in this hall. So thousands of people didn't do what he did just listening to me on YouTube, not even coming here, not even seeing me. Because of the intensity there. But just one conference once a year, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, people just go back. They are not serious.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm getting
Yes.
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 You're making sense.
Yes.
That's really thank you.
Yeah,
So
Ari.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
first of all, first thing I noticed when I came here is
Let's
that
speak louder so that
the first thing I noticed when I came here is that there's peace. There's peace in this environment. I'm extremely sensitive to peace. The peace I'm talking about is not the peace of you are watching anything. It's the peace of Jesus Christ. It's in this environment. It envelopes this environment. It's what in Africa people run to the mountain for.
Okay.
There's just that's the first thing I noticed. I was talking about him. And when I started listening to DSA in November, I was reading, I was listening to videos. Sometimes I go to bed, I can't sleep, I will leave the bed, I will come back. My wife was like, "Are you okay? Is there something wrong?" Because it was like a well of something was just rising up inside of me. But after a while, I was like, it seems that
I'm not okay.
Am I sure that all this, is DSA not a professor? Is it not just about information? Are you sure?
Knowledge.
Knowledge. Are you sure the other end of the spirit is there? And that is what propelled me that I was going to come to HMT. On TV, I might not feel it, but if I come here, I know I will know. Yesterday was a miracle in my life. DSA called me out, and he was performing a surgery on me on live TV. It was a surgery. None of you know. People were like, "But you were well composed." I was not well composed. In that place, I was bleeding. I was like in a surgery, I was bleeding. I wanted to run out, but he would drag me back. "Come back to the theater. I'm not done with you yet." He cut me open. I was like, "No, I need to leave this place." And he brought me out. And there was a question he asked me, and I said, "I am the hope of Nigeria." And he started praying in tongues. And immediately he did that. I'm sorry, I know we don't say spooky things here, but I felt someone come to my back and held me. Oh God, I still have that feeling now. Someone came to my back and held me. I couldn't hold it and I started crying. I wasn't crying because of what he said, but there's a presence in this place. The presence of the Almighty. It is here. It is here. All he's teaching us is not just head. It's not just head.
No.
It's heaven. It's a conduit pipe from heaven. It's downloading. The presence is coming. The life is coming. He's taking it from the spirit and he's trying to break it down for this man is not just a man of knowledge, he's a man of the spirit. Yes. The words that he speaks, I would truly say they are spirit and they are life. There's life in them. And that life is changing me. So that is one set I've noticed, the spiritual atmosphere of this place. Now I have realized that I am the solution to the problems around me. As long as my eye can see the problem, you are the solution. If I cannot see the problem, I am not the solution. But if I can see it, whether in Nigeria, in Canada, in Ukraine, I am the solution.
Yes.
I am the life of this earth. Jesus has said it that I am the salt of this earth. I am the light of this earth. As long as the darkness is there, it is my responsibility to carry my light and go inside of that place. While we're talking now, ideas of things I can do are just coming to me. Now I am a genius. I can see the genius inside of me. It is coming out. It is coming out. This is not going to be my last HMT. I'm going to come from HMT to HMT to HMT to HMT until the total value of what God made me comes out. Earth must know that Harry is on this earth.
Oh yes.
Heaven must know that I'm on this earth. Yeah. And hell too must know. Like the way those demons said, Paul I know.
Jesus,
because I know. They will say Harry too.
Yes, I know. We know. Yes.
I am in Canada now. And I'm going to destroy the works of the
enemy.
I am going to destroy them. As DSA was talking, as Anu was talking, I was seeing books coming out.
Yes.
I was seeing books coming out. I can see presentations that I have to do. I can see presentations that I have to do. I can see the books that I have to produce. Nigeria has not seen anything yet. Nigeria has not seen anything yet. I am not waiting for Buhari or whoever. I am the savior that is coming to Nigeria. Coming out of Mount Zion to come and set my people free. This HMT is just beyond the books and the learning. From my core, from my spirit, something is rising. A well of living water. As in, there's just something rising up inside of me. And now I know. The last thing about this HMT I would like to say, this HMT is a military camp. What this HMT has taught
boot camp.
Yeah, boot camp. What this HMT has taught me is that the results that you see in Dr. Sandei's life, let me show you every minute what you will do to produce that. The steps I'm into IT, so we talk about activities, we talk about processes, we talk about policies. Activities, a set of activities build up into a process. I can see the activities step by step. This is what you will do. This is how you should read. You should be a critical thinker. You should be in the now and then. It's not just him. I can see it in Anu. I can see it in Dr. Success. I can see it everywhere. I can see it in his wife when she came and she taught. So it's a boot camp for me. It's like one day in the life of Dr. Sandei Adelaja. That's what I'm saying. But now I'm seeing 7 days in the life of Dr. Sandei Adelaja. So when I go back, I'm not going back to the civilian life. I'm not going back to the civilian life.
Military.
You know, the military life. Because how many years do I have to stay here? I have to make impact.
That's true.
How many years do I have to stay? I have to make impact. I don't care to take all my leave days to come and do HMT. I will come and sit here and I will learn. I am a military man, I am a military officer, for God. And if I must produce results, I must be on my feet, learning, bringing solutions, destroying the works of the enemy, teaching men, bringing life and solution to
How
men.
many years have been wasted?
Oh, sir. If I say that, then I'll start crying again. But I was reminded yesterday by Dr. Success. I think Dr. Success. He said it took Jesus 3.5 years. He said, so Harry, don't sorrow anymore. I also remember Abraham at 75. He was called into his ministry. So Harry, this is the best day of your life. He just started.
Yes.
This HMT just started the best day of my life. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your humility. I have never seen my friends. I write them mails. They don't even reply me. I wrote doctor a mail. He replied me in 6 hours. I sent him a Skype message. He called me back. My wife said it's a lie. You are not speaking to Dr. Sandei. I said, no, I'm speaking to him.
It's a fake.
It's fake. That day, everybody in my house knew that day was the happiest day in my life because I had never been accepted by someone of that caliber. He accepted me. He spoke for me for 2 hours. He was like my brother that I did not know so many years ago. Sir, you will see those fruits.
Amen. Amen.
Heaven is recording my statement.
Amen.
You will see those fruits. In my life, I can't say about anybody, but in my own life, those fruits will come out. You will know, heaven will know, the earth will know that yes, Harry came to this earth and he fulfilled every dot of what God wanted him to do. Thank you so much, sir.
Anybody else wants to say anything?
I will add something.
Yes.
I have the same joy of being accepted as a person. When I wrote Dr. Sandei, and I managed to go look in my email, and I see DSA in the email. I open it up. Just like I was doing just now, I was crying for a period, walking around in the household and said, "He answered me." He answered. And I couldn't contain myself. He recognized me. I was trying to write to Oprah Winfrey for a long time because of the things that I have. I want to share it to somebody different to listen to me. And Russia, Ukraine, in the distance, and I'm in America, and nobody sees me or even. And Dr. Sandei respond to me. It brought me great joy when I received that email back. And it wasn't days, it was just in a couple hours. I got the email back. I was astonished. Thank you, Dr. Sandei. And I said, in addition to that, you had to be here to receive me. Because if you was on the fast track, not that you wouldn't be looking down to see me, but I wouldn't have had the privilege to get the share.
That's true.
That share that came through for me to have the connection to get to relate to you at whatever point.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad thing that you're here, that God is holding you in His place for others to be able to receive. Yes, for those who need to do the work of God, to love, to see the values of God, to know that one of my PowerPoint, it says living is not just for yourself, it's for living for others. Yeah. And I share that you're living not for yourself, you're living for others. And I thank you for receiving me and for me to be a part of this HMT. And I've already engraphed whatever to do when I go to New York. I will prove myself with my responsibility.
Anybody wants to share? Then you move forward so that you move closer to. No, we need to bring your share. That's everything. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, for me, like I knew after the HMT in January, because I was following it consistency, the one in January, the Law and Order. I even have like a post in my, like I take a screenshot of every slide. It's on my Facebook, every slide. So that's when it started for me, that January. And then my spirit said, the next one, you have to be there. That's the command, you have to be there. So it's like, okay, no problem. School is gonna come, I'm gonna find out my schedule, and I'm gonna work things out. And with my schedule, it works perfectly so that I can be here. But like everything was pulling me not to be here, fighting me in all kind of way for me not to be here. I was making a lot of sacrifice. I had the money, but because I just like to suffer for myself. Like I had the money, like because in Canada you can apply for like a student loan. I had money, like I had my student loan. There was money, but I used my student loan to help other people. Like giving them my money, like okay, I still have to take care of my kids, but I was using my student loan. I know I'm not working, but I was still sacrificing and taking my money and give it out. So I end up run out of money. So it's like, okay, how is this gonna possible for me to get here? Now I run out of money because I've helped everybody. Now I can't even help myself. So I was really confused. So I went to school. It's like, the time is getting really close. It's like a week left for this the HMT to start. It's like, okay, how is this gonna possible? I run out of money now. Like, how stupid I was giving out my money and I can't even help myself anymore. So I wrote Pastor Sandey. It's like I really want to come, and I know God wants to release me. God wants to release something in me because my spirits keep telling me there's something God wants to release through me. I said, but right now, the situation that I'm in, I can make sacrifice and I can get my ticket. I said, but accommodation and all that kind of stuff, I don't have the money to do that right now. I said, if you can help me with that part, I will get myself here. That's what I wrote. Like it was just coming out. I didn't even know. I was typing it and then I sent it. It was like an hour. I checked. I was even surprised. Like, oh, that was fast. He said, and he write me back. It's like, yeah, don't worry. As long as you get yourself here, don't worry. And then that was like something like, oh, okay. Went right away. Start finding tickets. Week to the. And I talked to my kids. My kids were all also another stumbling block. Oh, Mommy, you're going so far. Why are you going? Don't go. Don't leave us. My oldest daughter was just, Mommy, that's far. That's far. I don't want you to go. And she started, is it healthy there? Is it this? Is it safe? Is it this? It started talking about all kinds of things. I said, don't worry. Mommy, you have to go. And I'm going to go to a boot camp. That's the word I said. I said, it's a boot camp that I'm going to. I'm telling you all this story. And then I came here. I made it here. Huh. And the other thing too, when I was coming, I told God, it's like, I'm coming all the way here. I don't want to be the same anymore because I've gone to, Derek has done 2 HMT in my church. I did it 2 times. It started something in me, like things, I was doing other stuff there, but it was not good enough. It's like, God, I want answer. I want solution. So the word that I told God, I said, God, when I'm coming to Ukraine, I need solution and I need answers. And when I came, I got solutions, I got answer, and I'm going back with the solutions and answer that I can set Thunder Bay free, I can set Sierra Leone free. It's just amazing, and the presence of God here, oh my God. I've never ever felt the presence of God ever this strong in my life. Like I feel it, like like I sense it when I'm in Thunder Bay, like all the time, but I'm always like drunk. That's how I feel. Like I'm always drunk. People think I'm tired, but I'm not tired. Like I'm just overwhelmed with the presence of God.
Amen.
Like even when I'm sleeping upstairs, like the electric shock that goes through my body, I've never, it's like, oh, like what is going on? Like standing up, walking, it's like I just, like it's so heavy, it's like,
Lord.
but I made a decision that even once we finish here, I'm gonna put it on my, I am the solution to Thunder Bay and Sierra Leone. I am the solution.
Amen.
And I will go back and I will conquer those two lands. Thank you so much, Mr. Sandey, and you've been really a blessing to me. I cannot express myself. I cannot. And also, I have been delivered. A lot of things that have been holding me back, I've been delivered out of it. So right now, it's like I've grown 10 feet tall. Like, like 10 foot tall, like I'm walking high. It's like, oh my God, I am the solution.
Amen.
And thinking, it's like, I've been seeing, like the way I see things, all this while I see, it's like always complaining, like you talking about, you see things that you know you have the answer to it, but people are not doing anything. The pain that you feel, I feel that same way for for Thunder Bay and Sierra Leone, because when I went there 2 years ago, I was just in so much pain, everything when I'm walking. And I didn't even spend that long. I went for only 3 days in Sierra Leone. 3 days. I only spent 3 days there. But the problem that I saw, it was too much. I was like, and I was asking everybody, why is this everything like that? And it looked at me like I'm strange. It's like, what are you talking about? It's like, this is not right. Like, this is not right. It's like, oh, please, because you're from Canada, you just got here. Look, you're complaining. This, like, I said, but this is not normal.
Now you are the solution. Okay.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Okay. Who, you want to speak? You speak. Sit in front. Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Okay, first of all, just as my pastor, when I just arrived, I was, how to say, I was just looking around, and actually, I was talking to someone, he's not there today, but I'm the type of person to observe. I like observing. I just like observing, watching around, etc. And when I came, I just felt like, for example, it's so touching, but the first time I came, like I came around 6 o'clock, no, 4 o'clock here. I came at 4 o'clock on Monday here, and then there was Pastor Natasha. So she just saw me, and she hugged me, and I was like, okay, nice, okay. But she wouldn't let me go until I hug her back. So I like, okay, let me hug her back. And then maybe she'll let me go. But she continued, she stayed, and I was like, oh, okay, that's how people feel when you hug them.
Okay.
Because I'm so used to hugging people, but I'm not used to people hugging me back. You understand?
Yes.
I don't know. Yes. So I was like, okay. And then when she hugged me back, and she just stayed for a while hugging me, I was like, wow, you don't even know me, you don't even know where I come from, etc., etc. But you hugged me? Okay.
Is that Pastor Natasha?
Yeah, Pastor Natasha. Because you could see, she could see that I was a little bit skeptic. I was like, okay. So when I arrived, actually, I was sad, mostly for other people to know what they are going through. I felt so bad because like my pastor knows me a bit. Like in France, I feel bad for mostly the youths, for everything that they're going through. So when you can't do something, but you see the things, it's just, it hurts you inside because you don't know what to do. It just hurts you, and you're crying, God, what can I do? What can I do? And then you can't do something. Like, for example, I have so many ideas to help those that are outside and help them. But when financially you have nothing, it's just, it's like, it frustrates you at a point that you're like, oh, why you keep on showing to me if I can't do nothing?
Yeah.
So when I came here and I saw everything, I know religion. I grew up in religion until I came in Pastor Pierre's church when I read. But when I saw, for example, I was happy. And I was happy why? I didn't get something. The only thing that HMT brought to me was joy. I won't lie. TNT is joy. Joy not because, not because, it's like I said, God showed me the meaning of my calling, actually. He just showed me the meaning, and I was joyful because before I was just so, when you give, and you're always pouring, and then I was just tired. And then when I had to come to HMT, because before coming to HMT, we had a program in our church, and we were working non-stop for a week, and then I had to take my plane. But when I took my plane ticket, I took it in Paris. So I didn't have, so when I checked to find a car or train to go to Paris, there was no more train, no car, and it was only by airplane. So and the ticket was 134 euros. I was like, oh my God, I'm already tired and everything. And then you have to know that when my pastor told me about HMT, he said, it's great, but you're going to work. I'm so tired, and I'm going to work. I'm going to read at least 5 books. I said, oh no, I can't. I just want to break. I just want to break. But actually, God bring me here because that was my break.
Wow.
Through Pastor Natasha asked me, aren't you tired? Because she always saw me in the mirror, always reading until 3, 4 a.m. always reading. And then and then she said, when are you going to sleep? I tell her, I'm going to sleep when I stop working.
Wow.
And she just stopped and yeah, because when you keep on working, you're not asleep. Because that's how I am naturally. But when you're tired physically, you're so tired, you're oh, just leave me alone. I want to break.
Yeah.
But God showed me that my break is work. It's controversial, but my break is work. And what I felt is I felt joy. I told even my pastor, I felt joy not because something spiritually happened, but seeing people change, that's my joy, actually. Seeing people for example, seeing Harry just cry and see that's the meaning of his life, the transformation, that's what makes me happy. That's what brings joy to me. It's like seeing Maxine. When she arrived, I saw her. That's the reason why I say I'm an observator, because I love to observe things, because when you see the change, it brings so much joy. It's not because you did something special. It's not because you give some. Just the fact that the person changed, the character changed, the mindset changed. Seeing people, seeing Pastor Wellington, when you guys said black people were cursed, I was so shocked because I was because I don't because I was don't you guys read the Bible? No, seriously, it's like I was ignorant, but ignorant towards ignorant people, not in a mean way, but it's like in a way you don't read the Bible, or don't you ask questions when you read the Bible, or like and then God made me understand that I am lucky.
To know, what you know.
I'm lucky.
Yeah.
I'm not like deserving or such. I'm just lucky. I'm lucky to be in my pastor's church, for example. I'm lucky to work with him, and I tell him every day, like, I honor my pastor. My pastor is my pastor.
Yeah.
When he tells me something, even though I'm shy, even though I don't feel like doing it because I'm shy, but I will say, okay, because it's my pastor, he sees the best in me.
Yes.
So I want to do it. I actually love my pastor. I love my church. So when I heard things like people mock the church or serve in church because they want something, my heart broke. Because I'm like, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to do that just because you love your church. It's out of love. And how to say, I was transformed because I was happy to see people transform. And that's the reason why I said to be a transformer, you have to be a trend former. Because you have to just stand up and change the trend. That's how people will transform. You change the trend.
That's right.
You change the style. You change the trend. And once the trend is changed, well, the person is transformed.
Yeah.
It's just that. And to see just people, like, for example, my roommate, I was in
Oh,
okay. No, not Dupe, Shidia. What I even told her that I'm so happy, the fact that I'm seeing her reading. It's only reading, but it brings so much joy to me. Because when she just arrived, and she said, oh, $3, oh, I can't do $3. And she said, and then like the first day it was hard for her. It was really the second day, but on the third day, after reading, I went to sleep at 4 after reading, so I went up backstairs to go, and I saw her reading. I was so happy. I only reading, but I was so happy. I was like, wow, you're making progress. Wow, that's good. And then I was not serious. Even me and Lemuel, we were happy because we were like, you see, she's reading now. She's like reading, writing, and everything. And she's like, I'm like, wow, that's what brought me joy. And that's the reason why when I'm going back to France, actually, I already, all those things that we've learned today, well, just like the pastor said, I was already aware of that, actually. But
you have a good pastor.
I was aware of that. And I was aware of that, but what really pushes me right now is that I'm like, I just have to do more. Yes, I have my cell group. Yes, I have a group of girls that are leaders actually already and that are working, etc. But there are more youths outside. There are more people that have been through this type of stuff. There are more, and my joy is just to see people transform. Just to see people even one step. You don't have to do someone that was sad and just have joy. That brings joy to me. You don't have to pay me. You don't have to do anything. That's, for me, that is more meaningful than doing something else. And that's what really brought joy to me. I'm just happy because I was sad because to see people go through all that, I was sad. Even though I was laughing. Yes. That's just how I express myself. I was laughing because everybody saw me and they're like, you see, now she's laughing, etc. But I'm always like that. It's just like when I arrive in an environment, I observe. That's what Pastor always told everyone. I'm just calm. I'm shy. I'm calm. Like for right now, I'm trembling. because I'm in front of the camera. I try to control myself. But for me, what brought me joy, and that really, it's like I got my energy back. I got everything back just because I saw people happy. And it's not even the message, like everybody knows the message was powerful.
Yes.
Yes, it was. I won't lie, it was powerful, it was amazing, yes. And all the dreams that I already had in my head, it's like now I'm like, okay, I have to accomplish them. Because when you see someone already write 5 books or 10 books, and you're not even at a PhD level. I'm so happy I'm not PhD. I'm not. But when you see that and you're like, and you just see the person serving, like for example, the lady that you brought, she was serving. For me, that's for me. Seriously, for me, I look more to people that serve than to people that do anything in the church. No, seriously.
Yeah.
For me, I give more honor to people that are sweeping than people that are preaching or doing anything. It's like that. That's how I am. Like, it brings more joy to me to sweep, to do everything else than to be in front of the camera.
Service.
Yeah, that's how I am. And just to see, like for example, yesterday when, like, you didn't even know me, and we just start laughing, and just laughing. For me, even I felt like my laughter brought you joy. I don't know how to say it, but because afterwards, when you talk about your story, I was like, why? Why did it happen to you? It tore me. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I'm happy because I made you laugh.
Yeah. And you didn't know the story then.
I made you laugh because I just saw you just simple here. You came to talk to me. I talked to you and then we laughed. But that brought me joy. And I was like, okay, even though I couldn't do anything financially, but just bringing joy.
That is even more sometimes than finances.
So I was like for example, Livio's testimony, it hurt me. I was like, how can you say you're Christian and do that? I was like, you can't be Christian. Not even Christian. You can't be a person. That's all. It's not about the values. You can't be a person and do that. Like, you can't see someone bleeding and just walk past. You just have to help. That's for me. Then just to see people transform.
The pastors, you mean with the pastors? How do the pastors do?
Yeah. And just to see that, I was like, okay, I came from a church that was religious, but you guys suffered most. Because, yeah, at least I was like...
So your church was not bad?
No. They were bad for me, but at your level, it's nothing. It's nothing. I explained to my pastor how my church was, but for you, it's nothing. It's nothing. And like somebody that I laugh every day. So somebody that hasn't laughed in 5 years. Yeah. I can't imagine that. I can't imagine that.
I was angry more than anything else.
Yeah.
And to see I felt like, seriously, I felt like God is crying. I don't know, but you feel the weight and you see like God is crying for his children, crying for people, crying for those type of stuff. God is crying. And what we are doing, we're not constructing, but we're destroying.
Yes.
And that just hurts. Like to see you just recognizing that you have wasted your life, that hurts. That hurts. I felt your pain. That hurts. But I'm happy. I'm really happy. I'm really happy for everyone. That's the only thing I could say.
Yes.
I'm happy for everyone. I'm proud of everyone. And thank you for refueling me and to re-giving me the motivation to just continue. I'm just thankful towards everyone. And that's it.
So, is it worth it that your pastor brought you?
Yeah. Even though I had to sleep 11 hours at the airport.
11 hours at the airport.
But it was worth it. It was worth it. And
Wow.
I just got refueled. That's it. It was worth it.
Okay. You want to speak?
Yeah, I could say something. I'm so sorry that I've been off all day.
Yeah, you needed to rest and get back.
Yeah.
You go back tomorrow?
Yes, go tomorrow morning. Yeah, I wanted to say thank you to Lord Almighty and for this time with you here. And then I think it's a big school, not only yourself.
A big school.
It's also to see our fruit, our people, our impact is. When I came in a airport atmosphere of Kiev. It means I have traveled many cities in Europe here, but you can feel atmosphere of freedom.
Yes.
Generally speaking, I said to it when we drive, yeah, this is so nice. It's usually many cities you travel, you can feel something. But for me, it's a big, great things to be in Ukraine here, because I've been following you because English, French-speaking area, we don't have advantage to reach speaker like you or people like you in English language. Most of us there we struggle with English language, but for me, since I came to know you through the book, and I tried to reach YouTube, and then this became every time when when I follow even you said just one sentence or one phrase. It means in my inside of me to develop me in some I can build my sermon even just for
even one statement.
Where
you had said that.
Yeah. So just one. So sometimes just in the morning before I go to work, one sentence. It's just develop.
He used to say that.
Yeah.
That when I just need to just listen to Pastor Sunday speak 1 minute, I already get revelation.
Yeah. It's
2 minutes already. One statement is already revelation.
Very easy. Like instead of praying for try to So it's also to it came to a time when you started this broadcast, for African paganism. That's also helped me because I have some understand some kind of idea. Okay, I have to travel back to Africa to get some fire.
Before.
Yes. As after theology, all this, I say, okay, now I need some importation.
Importation.
So, but when you start
from Africa, African paganism, you want to go and import African paganism and secretism.
Thank you for both series, because when you started, I said, what is going on here with my pastor? and then you good that you took Jesus who said don't judge, and they did this, and Paul who said this, it said to Peter, and when you brought the Bible, okay, I said, okay, I have to be quiet, because this is not just talking, it's serious, and the Bible is our standard, and that could help me to be open to follow everything until today. And then also that, I have also dreams. To dream you, to have you in my dream, I forgot to tell you that.
You didn't tell me that.
No, I forgot to tell that. I'm very sad if I could go to Finland back without saying that. So, different times, I've seen her talk to my wife, well, I'm dreaming Pastor Sandei. And then, because when I'm in a ministry, I feel myself, I need something. It means I told you that when to study about theology, it's good but somehow I felt myself, I'm in the middle of people because I felt myself, I don't feel myself to be with my African fellow brothers and to do ministry. I feel myself in the middle of a different culture, people you know yourself. And then this was my struggle, my own personal struggle. And then puff came on a dream. You are coming. And when you come, brother, oh, We are waiting for you. Come, let's pray. Come, let's pray. So then I'm coming somewhere, like coming very tight, and you are standing there very happy. Brother, I say, oh. And then when I wake up, I saw, my Lord, what is this message? And this happened 3 times. And then after that, I knew this is a message. I said to my wife, I don't know. I have seen, how can I dream Pastor Sandey? It's a serious. So it means I need principle from my brother. And then it came the time when you told that it was teaching somewhere here, and then what will happen, you're going back to Africa, how you see Africa. And that was like I felt myself inside, like in this place.
Wow.
I felt myself, I'm here in Kiev. So, and then I said, okay.
Presence in the spirit, wow.
Yeah, so I felt myself, and I shared to my church, I said, I have to go to Ukraine. I said to my church, they bless me. Elders, put my hands.
Yeah.
They don't know maybe details of Kiev, but I saw your book. I say I need to go to learn from Pastor Sandey because I want to duplicate, or what do you call it? Duplicate this wisdom he has, because Europe also is in need. Because for me, people where Finland or other countries in Europe here sent a lot of missionaries in Africa.
Yes.
And this is, I think, also, it's time also us to bring also something to them. They need also us as well. So I'm going back very, very happy. It's a big school for me when I saw yourself, because I know a big name in Africa. And then I was not so surprised, because in your teaching I can see it's the same person. What you say, what you are teaching, you are the same. Because I could see it like how humble, even your team, everyone. Yeah. It's like, what is going on? When Jesus said that I came not to be served, but to serve you. Yeah. And then if you want to be a great, serve your brother. This is how I'm learning here. I thank God for all this. And then when I came, I did not know what will happen here. The man came quiet, no prayer. I said, oh, no prayer. Oh, a second day, no prayer. No prayer. And then I began to know, this is good. Because prayer, in a way, sometimes we just take atmosphere and then we forgot a very other serious stuff. And then that was, I could see myself when I'm going back, and it's something so deep, no need of a scare that I did not sleep enough. I can be sick. When people say you don't sleep enough, you can't have a this. That is over. Yeah. Over that I can make it, because this has been really training. Like for me, I said to my wife now, I was talking to her, I say, this is like, I don't know, just for how many days? For 1 week. 1 week? I've done many training in South Africa, in Finland, for training. But it's just in 1 week. It's like, how can I develop? Can I describe it? It's huge, a lot of impact. Yep. So, that to tell you that I came to receive a seed. Amen. And then this seed, it's because I believe to come was challenging, and it's the heart of I'm receiving this. I believe with that I have to reproduce or to do something, and then continue to be in contact with you as a father in ministry. That's what I could say to you. But thank you.
Yeah, and I want to say, just for you to know that, I'm accessible. You can write me at any time to the email, or you can write me at any time to Facebook. I reply if I see it. If I'm not busy, but even if I'm busy, as soon as I see it, I reply. So, so let's keep in touch. Let's maintain relationships. If you need me, if you don't need me, don't disturb me. Go and be listening to Facebook, YouTube. But if you need me, I'll be available. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Finland shall be saved.
Amen.
You've spoken a lot, Livio, already many times. I think people know you, unless you want to say something. If you want to say okay, but if not, it's okay.
Well, what I wanted to say is this is the third time I'm here, and the first time I really had to repent because I don't know if you remember it, but I said I came here and I thought I knew it all. And why I said that is because I always search for the best thing. So I really believe that God brought me to the best. But also in Holland, I sought for the best church, and I'm in the best church. And my pastor started repeating himself over and over again. So the title of a message would change, but the content is the same. So I thought, if this is it, I know it all.
And that's the best.
Yeah, and that's the best in Holland. So I came here and then, I listened to a lot of series, and eventually I stopped listening to some series because I thought I would come here. Didn't know that every series
is different.
It's different, so I'm back into. I'm like now life is predictable. So I came.
We didn't say you never stop learning.
Yeah, I really had to repent.
No more repetition.
No, everything is new. Every time, every HMT is new. Every hour, every minute, everything is new.
Every hour, everybody. But God is like that too.
Yeah,
it's what we do every day.
There's always more of God, something new of God. And that's what I experience here. So, yeah, I really feel connected. Not only with you, but, all the people I meet here, most of them are new faces to me, but I feel so connected.
Yeah.
And that's because we're the DSA family.
Yeah.
I will be back.
Again. So it's going to be new again.
It's going to be new, that's why. Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. Well, we have been here for over 3 hours for this second session. And yeah. And what should I say? I just think that you are wise for coming, and maybe God helped you to be able to come. I'm sure many people would like to come, but they couldn't come. But thank God at least they were able to get the teachings. But you see now that what is happening here is more than the teachings.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's more than the atmosphere, the discipline. These are much more than the teachings. So we hope you'll be able to join us sometime if God will still allow me to be here, because I'm not going to be here forever, and I don't know when God will allow me to leave Ukraine. And when I leave Ukraine, I'm not sure I'm going to be doing this. If I'm going to be doing it, I'm going to be doing it for Africans and Nigerians, because I want them to get it. But so while we are still here, take advantage of the moment. And I think the next one will be coming in June. Yeah, the next HMT in June. And then another one in August for the children, teenagers. And then maybe in November, if I was to be here in November, we'll have another one in November. So if you don't mind, we are going to say bye to you, because these people have been working all week long. Let them go get some sleep. Some of them need to travel tomorrow. So peace. Good night.